And by the way, me doing Charlamagne's podcast is because I know Charlamagne. Doesn't mean I'm doing a fucking whole podcast circuit. I'm not going to do everybody's podcast. Okay? I actually don't even want nobody ask me to do no podcast. Let me see if I can play it.
Yep, Charlamagne the God.
Andrew Schultz.
We are the Brilliant Idiots, and this week's episode of the Brilliant Idiots is brought to you by the new Spotify original Genuine Question.
Yeah, you can't be genuine anymore.
You can't even be fucking genuine no more. Somebody will just take the shit out of the goddamn context.
That's true, but you did want to ask it because he was Indian looking. But that's their only shit. If, like, you got one shit, I should be able to ask you. Like, it's wrong. Say again? What about her? Nah, not really.
I didn't want to do to him the way I feel white people do to me about Blackish and Empire.
Yeah, because there's mad black shows, so it's weird. You got fucking Lester Holt and shit on news. There's tons of black people. Don Lemon. So if they just go right to you, did you see Power? It seems offensive, but
maybe it's not though, because that's very
specific.
Specific, you know what I mean? If you're saying Power, I'm like, okay, yo, you must really be in tune with your fucking
right, but would it be fucked up if they came to you and be like, so what do you think of the new mango flavored quarter water?
Exactly. It was watermelon flavored. It'd be like, what the fuck you mean?
If it was watermelon, it'd be a little crazy.
By the way, the reason I want to ask somebody like the Indian engineer, what's his name again? I forgot. The guy. Yeah, Aziz.
Shailene.
The reason I wanted to ask Aziz about Master of None Season 2 is because I want to know what he thinks of the depiction of Indians in this show. Is it accurate? Because I don't know.
That's
you know what I'm saying? All right.
Hey, yo, let me get my words
on you or try to son you.
Maybe it's like, hey, man, I don't know if you've seen Master of None Season 2, but there's an interesting depiction of Indian Americans on there, and I want to get your take on it. And then he's going to look at you and be like, dog, I'm Mexican. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
You got to do all of this fucking warning. Look, I'm not trying to offend you at all. I'm really asking you this goddamn question, okay? Now, we have a special guest in the building.
Yeah.
A young man who I've watched grow over the past years. You know what I'm saying? He's very, very, he's new. He's different in the culture because I've never seen a personality like his in the culture as far as execution.
Okay.
You know, the way he uses YouTube and the digital space is new.
Yeah.
But my man DJ Akademiks is here.
Okay.
Yep.
You know, Akademiks, I want you to feel comfortable.
I'm always comfortable.
Enough to talk. You know, I know you don't get to talk on everyday struggles. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Hey, yo, let me get my words in, man.
Hey, I'm here to let you have your voice, okay?
We're going to listen.
We're going to listen.
We're going to not tell you to fuck off.
Yeah, we're not here to son you or try to son you.
No sunning.
Or tell you what you don't know.
You're not a fuck boy here, okay?
Yeah, you're not a fuck boy here.
You're a great, proud Jamaican.
No dick face.
Okay? You have pride. You have power. You're a badass mother that don't take no
Y'all can't even hear me. That was the worst Jamaican accent I ever heard.
shit from nobody.
Hey, Drake got a better accent than you, man.
Bro, that's the cool runnings Jamaican accent, bro. I only know cool runnings.
Yo, Drake and Cali got a better accent than you, man.
Yeah, but Drake is Jamaican.
Accent, though.
Cali got a good Jamaican accent?
Yeah, you gotta learn from him.
You do realize Khaled is a mix of two people?
Who?
Khaled has co-opted Fat Joe and Rick Ross's personality.
Ooh.
Yes, but for whatever reason, Khaled just did them better than them. But if you're ever around Fat Joe and you're ever around Rick Ross, even if you just follow Rick Ross on Snapchat, that's all Khaled. So, I mean, that's all. Khaled gets that from them.
Well, you might be onto something because when you think about how delusional like Rick Ross seemed to be, Khaled kind of has that, which, by the way, it propels success. Mm-hmm. But, like, he talks things into existence. Like, yo, this is what's going on. This is the best. The vocals come, like, it sounds kind of like
At what
Ross.
point are we going to stop thinking those people are delusional and we're delusional for not thinking like that?
Exactly.
If that shit works
yes.
and we're not doing it, aren't we the delusional ones?
Absolutely. Listen,
aren't we the stupid ones? Like,
what's the Steve Jobs quote?
Wear the same shirt every day.
What is it? I don't. Listen. I'm going to.
I like how you said like this one Steve Jobs quote.
Yo, get yourself a turtleneck and grind.
Exactly.
Right?
Hold on. You know the one I'm talking about, though. Hold on.
Fuck Windows is all about the Mac.
Fuck Windows is all about the Mac.
Windows is all about the Mac.
In the world of the blind, the what was the little thing you said? The man with one eye's king.
In the land of the blind, man with one eye is king.
Oh, no, yeah. The ones who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do.
Respect.
That's it.
That's true.
That's the reason why I knew Ross would succeed, but Khaled got that same type of thing, except his shit is on another level.
Yeah,
well, yeah, because Khaled doesn't even have a skill. Like Ross could rap.
He's a DJ.
Wait.
He's a DJ. Khaled was.
What is Khaled's?
No.
He's a
marketable
DJ and a
skill?
radio personality. You know he is.
Outside of that, we're not going to sit here and act like Khaled doesn't have a skill of crafting records. Like when
Very true.
He crafts records that
Very
you
true.
know that if those people were just in the studio by themselves,
Very
it would
true.
sound like shit.
Very
Okay, just real quick.
So
And
I don't know,
again,
is that A&R or what is that?
let me
Very true.
clarify.
Or just producing, quote unquote.
And maybe you don't know this about me. I don't know anything about music. Okay, so I don't know if you know this about me. Okay, that being said, from me having conversations with folks, my understanding was that he doesn't play instruments. He doesn't produce.
Most of these niggas don't.
got
But he
ear,
doesn't
though.
produce the song. But he got,
He got
an
an
ear.
ear.
So like Diddy, for example.
Yeah.
Diddy had an ear. Was that a good comparison?
Get
you
Harlem
could say?
Shake. What more you need to do? You
Diddy
Harlem
had an
Shake.
ear.
You know what I mean?
Khaled-
Just get his shit jiggy and just get them together.
Khaled
So
knows
maybe-
the right
and
beats to
hitmakers-
pick. He knows the right songs to sample to get producers to craft the right beats. He knows the right artists to put on records.
So he is Steve Jobs. He's
By the way,
he's the
he's
conductor.
working with Nas. I'm hella excited for that because
I would
that's
be-
a knock against Nas. Like, yo, he don't be
Nas
picking the
beats are
right
so
stuff.
trash,
I've never
man.
agreed
Do you
with
agree with that?
Oh my!
I've never
God.
agreed with that.
The worst.
You know why? Because we love Nas records.
Now Nas picks beats like Pamela Anderson picks husbands.
What, big dicks?
No, it's just awful. It's just awful,
I'm trying to
man.
think of what
Selection.
Nas record has a horrible beat. Like, I mean, I think about Hate Me Now. I think about the Illmatic album. Illmatic got some crazy, the world is mine, the world is yours, New York State of Mind. Like, what whack beats did Nas have?
But that was before.
I think people always look at it like, well, Nas is such a great lyricist and he's so great on records, even vocally. What about if we got him with some of the best beats in the culture? Like,
Yeah.
I think people think he's been overperforming on beats that they're
Subpar.
good. We're not saying they're completely whack, but there's always the hottest beat out that he's not on.
Or you could just say those beats were great and look how popular those songs were.
I want the record to show if Akademiks was having this conversation with Joe Budden would have said, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You do not listen to Nas. You were not around for Illmatic or It Was Written or I Am. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know shit about Nas.
Stop dick riding beats.
Stop the crying bitch.
Those are his two knocks. Is stop dick riding. If you disagree with me, is stop dick riding. And then what's the other one? Fuck, he had some other shit that I was watching. I watched a whole episode of that shit. I'm gonna keep it real with you.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was episodes.
Yeah.
I thought it was just the
What?
2-minute clips.
Oh,
I didn't know it was a whole show. This is an hour-long show that
you
everybody
thought it was
doesn't know.
2-minute clips?
I thought it was a bunch of 2-minute clips.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it's a
I
whole.
watch the moments. I don't watch.
Yeah.
well, the moments is what get people. By the way, that's the reason why I think that put their comments in context. You get me? They only watched 2 minutes, really. So when they did mention it, they only watched 2 minutes. We're talking on social media.
It's
when you
great.
tune in, you actually get the dialogue and the banter.
Yeah.
Right? That's when you get the explanation to the moment that you're probably seeing. So, like,
Context.
and that's my thing. My thing's about the context because a lot of times, you know what I mean, you'll see like the shouting or the screaming or the passionate type of theatrics, and then you're like, all right, but damn, that's look lit, but what the fuck was that about?
Yeah.
Right? So you got to watch the show to actually just kind of.
The other knock Joe Budden has is he's not putting out enough music.
Joe Budden's not?
No. That's what he doesn't. If he doesn't like an artist, or he does like an artist, but he still wants to shit on him, it's always, well, where's the music?
But
He hasn't put out enough
that's
music.
dumb logic because I believe in quantity over
Quality.
I mean quality over quantity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck how much music you're putting out.
Right.
You're only judged by your last project.
Well, I think with that though, right? You see when you hear certain artists, and there are certain artists that when you talk about them, you seem like we don't talk about the music. I think he is from a school, and again, I understand, like, now we're tuned into an artist's entire life.
Yeah.
So who you dating? I mean, what the fuck you got arrested for?
Yeah.
Shit, what you bought at the fucking gas station, convenience store? Like, we tune into everything. So when he sees stuff like that, he probably like, yo, why are we talking about this opposed to the music? He's from a different era, though.
You're right. I'm from the same era Budden is from, but I feel like Budden doesn't understand we created that. And what I mean by when we created that, we are the people who wanted to see people live their raps. You know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't just rap about it. We had to see you doing it.
Yep.
Like, you had to really be courtside at the games. If you said you was courtside at the games, you really had to be busting your gun. If you said you was busting your gun, you really had to be fucking the baddest chick.
That's some of the dumbest shit now. Like, that's some of the dumbest shit, yo.
Before Instagram, before social media, we didn't have to see you doing those things. We could assume. But now, since there is Instagram, it's like, well, where's the pictures of the money?
Word up.
Say you got all this money, show us the pictures. We need you to prove that shit.
Do you know how many rappers were participating in the Bow Wow challenge before Bow Wow? Like, everybody getting on Bow Wow for fronting. 90% of you motherfuckers fronted all through the 90s, all through the 2000s. If you weren't fronting about being a thug, you were fronting about being rich.
I remember watching documentaries about rap like in the 80s when it just started. People it was fake it till you make it. Niggas rapping about having color TVs. They ain't had shit. You know what I mean? Niggas still watching black and white.
Color TV.
Yeah,
man,
like,
color
TV was the new LCD flat screen on the wall. Like, yo, you could tell some. So when I was looking at it, I'm like, oh, so faking it has always been a hip hop culture. Or even if you do have it, which that's the thing that puzzles me about Bow Wow.
Yeah.
If you got it.
He don't got it.
No. He ain't broke.
Bow Wow's not broke, but he ain't flying private.
But that's what I'm saying, right?
It ain't hard to fly private. They got like an Uber private jet.
Yeah, they do. But you know who does that shit?
Yo, I
was talking to my boy who did.
Yo, you
Duval
could get a
does
seat.
It, but so does Tom Brady. Like, Tom Brady don't even have a private plane. He does it. It's called NestJet, I think.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, NestJet. And that shit is expensive, yo. It's a different, like, in order to fly private, like, in order to have your own plane, apparently, you're like hundreds of millions of dollars just to have that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Or billionaire and the corporation pays for it. Like, it's a different level.
Ludacris got his own jet.
I don't know if he do.
Nah, he got his own. He has his own.
Ludacris don't even have his own
timeshare with a jet, or does he own the jet?
No, I don't know.
That's the thing, exactly. It's a timeshare shit. It's
because Bow Wow challenge.
Wayne, right? Like Wayne, the jet company came back around with Wayne, like, yo, you used to be flying us all the time. You ain't pay us even now. Like Wayne owe bills and shit like that. Like
the bigger issue I see with the Bow Wow situation is something I feel like this culture has a problem with. When is enough enough? And what I mean by that is, Bow Wow, you're flying to New York City to promote a TV show that you not only star in, you're the executive producer of.
You won.
I'm sure the network got you in first class. Like, is that not balling?
No.
That's not balling enough. Like, I have to jump out the window and put a picture of a fake private jet and an old Mercedes Benz and a Sprinter. It's not balling enough that you're flying first class to promote a TV show that you're executive producer of and you're only 30?
Bro, Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce.
Wow.
Think about
that.
And
didn't even Instagram it.
It didn't. Bro, that was the worst Bow Wow challenge ever.
Yo, put it like this. Yo, we all hope we never experience this, but you got to imagine, when you got it, you got it. So you're living one lifestyle then.
Yeah.
But when you got to downgrade, now you ain't flying private, you just first class.
Yeah.
Maybe you in coach.
I told Bow
Like, how do you adjust? And especially when people are watching you and they're so invested in your life, they know when you not getting the latest shit. Like, yo, is that an iPhone? What the fuck? Is that not the latest shit?
Bow Wow
you falling off, so you got to. Should you keep the image, or should you just be honest and be like, yo, I'm flying fucking Delta.
But this is the thing about Bow
Akademiks
Wow's
is interesting when people listen to him.
You never get a chance to hear him.
No, it's very interesting. You're interesting. Listen, bro.
And I know it's got to be frustrating for him because, I said Bow Wow. Akademiks.
Did you just Bow Wow challenge Akademiks, bro? Come on now.
Akademiks.
This is our guest.
His platform is very Tommy Laurenish. That's when he's at his best.
Who?
Akademiks. When he's just him.
Yeah.
And he's talking, and he's being a cultural critic, and he's critiquing the culture. Yeah. So it's got to be like kind of frustrating to be going back and forth with somebody. Well, because you're used to getting your thoughts out completely.
No, that's true. Like I've never been like it's a huge adjustment factor for me. I've never been in a situation where like usually I say my opinion, and even times I do streams and I'll take calls from like people. It's kind of like digital radio almost.
Sure.
But I've never been in a situation where it's too almost people ahead button, and at times you might be even robbed of your own opinion, or robbed of the time to say your opinion.
Sure.
So like I'm dealing with that, but also it's also checking my ego to the door. Like I usually say what I want for the amount of time I want. Now I'm working with. I'm so new to all this shit. Like I'm dealing with production people. They got time that they got to work with.
Yeah.
Of course, like we got to get our stuff out, and again, it's all new to me, so I'm adjusting to it. But
I think, and this is something we've been doing for a while, Charlamagne and myself, not just podcasts, but in terms of just entertainment with reaction. And it's different than speaking by yourself because you're not even expecting a reaction. So, and it's something I learned from working with you, to be honest with you, is I'm stand-up, so I'm used to the most reaction. Right? I say a joke, I'm waiting for laughs. And then I thought I brought that initially to this show. But when you're just talking to another human, it's not you're saying jokes at them. You're just having a conversation. And then sometimes organically something funny comes up.
Yeah.
And I had to make that shift here.
Okay.
I went from I'm delivering bits to no. We're just having a conversation. And then relying on your natural funny to have some of these funny things come out. I think that's the difference that I've noticed. For you, it must be so difficult, and people have to understand they got to give you a little bit of time to mature in this world. Is you're going from a place where you get to say your jokes, you get to say your hot takes because there's an expectation for your humor, to a place where the expectation is not your humor, it's your hot take. If humor comes, that's icing on the cake, that's something you'll learn and put together.
Summary of exactly and again, I'm learning to deal with this on a day-by-day basis. Some days I'm like, man, I'm a little frustrated because I didn't get everything I wanted to say out. And then other days I'm like, yo, I really like that because I felt like I was in the pocket of expressing myself. Mm-hmm. But again, I'm used to the platform which I created and built where I basically was able to say whatever I wanted for as long as I wanted.
Sure.
And again, it just went out there without even retort or time constraints or something like that. So
yeah.
That's a new thing that I'm adjusting to.
Well, me and Akademiks, we talk often. We have talked often for years. I'd offer my advice, on certain situations. I would have told you not to do it.
Really?
I'm going to tell you why I would have told you not to do it.
Wait, hold on. By the way, also, a lot of people would hit me and they were like, yo, man, I thought you said Charlamagne was your man. He hating on you. I got a lot of people hit me like that. And I was like, yo... And I even did.
They said that because of the last episode. We said that Joe Budden. It wasn't hate. I said that Everyday Struggle is going to last 6 months.
I said 2.
And the reason, and it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with self-destructive Joe Budden.
Yeah.
That's just it. Joe Budden is the guy who, when things get good, he fucking puts gas all over the place, lights a cigarette, and blows the joint.
Now, we said that with the context of this is great content. I hope that we're proved wrong. At least I did. I really enjoy watching the clips, and then I watched an actual.
Hey! I seen comments about the microphone I was using. I use the same microphone to record, so it's not the microphone. I think the microphone they're using. I think I use an upgrade of that to record. I'm trying to figure out if you think that sounds more clear than what I do. I got to get up on my sound people and see what the fuck is going on. But I use the same mic, or I think the one I use is newer. I have 5 of them. It's the same mic that all the big radio stations use. All right, and by the way, we recorded this at a studio at Engine Room Studios.
Whole fucking episode, and I enjoyed it, and we'll get into why I enjoyed the dynamic later. But I want you to say your point about the thing.
That I would have told you not to do it, and I'm gonna tell you why. I feel like Complex kind of co-opted you and your audience. You're probably competition to them. Because I look at your numbers on your YouTube pages. I didn't even realize you had 4 pages the other day. You got no less than 300,000 subscribers on each one. You put out videos. You probably average about 150, 100, maybe 200,000 views per video. And I feel like they bought Akademiks in because they realized this guy is competition to what we're doing. Now, I wouldn't mind them helping you to elevate your platform, but I just don't understand the dynamic between you and Joe. I almost feel like Joe could do his own thing and Akademiks could do his own thing. And I just don't see, the way it's going right now, I just don't see it lasting any more than 6 months because somebody gonna get fed up. Either Joe gonna get fed up because he tired of motherfuckers calling him industry and saying he's not an underground artist no more, or you gonna be like, why the fuck am I continuously coming here to do this shit when I got my own platform?
That's interesting. I didn't know.
And I want to be wrong. I'm just telling you what you asked me what I think. That's what I think.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. I didn't know how much influence I guess you had now. I didn't know you had all the YouTube pages. I always kind of went for you on Twitter for.
All right, and just pausing it point by point, I thought Charlamagne was spot on. I mean, some of the stuff he told me, he said there, he told me in private. You get me? Now, again, I've consulted Charlamagne on many things, but I know recently he's been hella busy. I don't want to be calling him yo, what do you think about this? And especially, I just made a decision by myself. You feel me? That was a decision for me to make. I didn't really ask people yo, what y'all think about this? I thought it was pretty straightforward for me to decide after I went there.
Or hip hop news, breaking hip hop news, almost like TMZ. I called you the hood TMZ. The second some shit happens. Yeah. So, what I'll say about the dynamic of the show, which I found very interesting, is Joe And I was watching this whole episode. Joe is incredibly interesting. And
always has been.
Always has
Whether
been.
it's rap. Joe used to do radio. Like, people don't remember. Joe used to do morning radio. No, he used to do morning radio.
I was a child in like middle school or something like that, listening to morning radio.
Yo,
Joe was on hot.
Joe is excellent. Dude, I'm watching this, and I'm like, he's excellent. And he's,
I find like him a year, though.
Maybe it was a year, but again, a year, and then it fell apart, right? So, but it's like,
fuck out of Dodge.
But there's probably some deep-rooted insecurity or fear of success, maybe fear of failure. Maybe you run away before you can fail. You make it explode before you can because you don't deep down think you deserve it. Who knows what the fucking thing was? But I'm watching. I'm like, this guy is a very good rapper in terms of bars. No one can take away his bars, but his skill at being interesting, I think, is greater than his skill at rap. I'm very intrigued by what's going on.
Very amazing rapper.
Very
amazing rapper.
But he's very interesting. I'm watching very interesting good takes. My concern with the dynamic is two people need to be listened to each other in order for them to feel comfortable speaking and validated speaking. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed it in times with us when I'm not listening. Well, it creates a kind of like a disruption between us. Yeah. And maybe when Charlamagne isn't listening, a disruption. When we're fucking killing it, it's when both of us are cued at, what do you have to say? Oh, that's a good boom, boom, boom. And I wish that there was more of that with you so that you would feel more, I think that you would talk with more confidence in your points.
My greatest interview skill is the fact that I listen.
Yeah.
To the artist.
I think Joe needs to give you more.
Joe needs to listen more.
Well, truth be told, I'll just hit the first point. When people were saying, yo, Charlamagne's hating, I'm like, yo, it sounded crazy to me. Yeah. Because I was even asking random people, like, even like my audience. No, I'm like, yo, I'm like, do y'all hear yourself? So I had to give him the history. I'm like, Charlamagne is someone who gave me advice at a time that he didn't need to give me advice. You know what I mean? He's someone who looked out. And he's always looked out, and he's always been the person that if I ever need advice or stuff has happened that don't even involve me. And he's called me to just kind of give me the lesson in that. Be like, yo, see what I was talking about? This is a proof, right? So he's always been a good dude with me. You get me? So, like, when I heard that, I was like, obviously I could tell there's something I do believe in. We could get on to this. I think there's something with you and Joe, though. I don't know what it is.
Historically.
There's something with you. There's something with you and Joe.
I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Wait.
Dominican women. What? They're fighting over the Dominican women, okay? Charlamagne wants all the Dominican women to himself, and so does Joe.
I'm a
and it's a
married
big
man.
fucking problem.
No. Yo.
All right?
There's something, because I heard the comments or whatever, and I was like, I know his humor, and I said, and I told people, I'm like, yo, we've had personal conversations, right? Yeah. So I'm like, his humor didn't offend me because I know his humor.
Yeah.
I said, if anything, I was like, this is him foreseeing something with Joe or taking a jab at Joe. Now, again,
wasn't a jab. Definitely wasn't a jab.
What was it? What would you describe it as?
And honestly, it was like, I'm a hook. It's just like anything. No. It's
a club punch.
This is the thing, right? Whenever you're a cultural critic, which I feel like I am, I feel like Akademiks is, we critique the culture. Yeah. But whenever we critique something that people know we actually fuck with, or people that we may be affiliated with in some way, it's almost like, oh, he's hating. Like, no, I'm critiquing the culture. It's the same thing I would tell Akademiks. Same thing I would tell Joe. I talked to Joe last week on the phone.
Right.
Like this is the same kind of conversations I've had. And guess what? I'm sure that they have critique about the Breakfast Club or the podcast.
Sure.
And that's fine. I'm cool with it all. Like, just because
people make it a bigger deal because there's a relationship.
Absolutely.
If you don't know an artist, it's like, oh, this is a fair critique. The second that you and that artist had a conversation once that went bad, immediately everything you say is discredited because you're bitter. Or something.
Everyday struggle is taking over the Breakfast Club. It's two different lanes.
Completely.
We do terrestrial radio. Y'all do online webisodes.
And it's very hip-hop specific.
Very hip-hop specific. They're not going to put Ryan Holiday.
Exactly.
Allison Williams isn't going to, Lena Dunham's not going to Everyday Struggle.
Sure.
So it's cool. And like I told somebody last week, we need all of these different spaces in hip-hop.
I agree.
Like, we don't need one outlet. Nobody needs to have a monopoly on this shit.
Shit is getting specific, especially with the internet. You want a hip-hop-centric first take, which is what this show is. Brilliant idea. Because the audience has a desire for it.
Yeah, and also speaking to like the chemistry, I agree with you. In the beginning, like the first week or two, like I didn't feel like we were almost listening and responding. And my whole thing coming from, again, I'm not I've never really done
never had to
huge
listen.
production. Well, not even that, but I've never done like this huge production type like show or whatever. I always care about the content, right?
Yeah.
So like I would watch the content and I'm like, yeah, people might like me, people like Joe, people might like Complex as a company, but I'm like, I don't believe that the content is where I would like it to be, right? So I really, and I talked to production, me and Joe, like my thing was trying to get the content to a place where, because I said, listen, beyond the screaming and 2-minute clips that you guys say you see, 9 months later, people are gonna have to watch the episodes because those ain't gonna last forever. It's like Love and Hip Hop. How many times you gonna see a chick get slapped?
Absolutely.
How many times? Like at some point, you get desensitized. You're not even clicking. So you got to get people invested, and that's how I've done it. Like I built my platform over 5 years, so I'm like, we got to get the conversation right, and we have to get it to a place where we listen and respond to each other, and that when people watch the actual show, they're like, yo, you know what? This is a great discussion, great debate. I agree with him on here. I agree with him on here, and they come away with their own points, and that'll continue the narrative and the discussion of the show. So I've been working on that since the first week, and I'll give credit to production.
How long y'all been out? A month?
Yeah.
Okay.
I give credit to production, even Joe. Joe. I've always said with Joe self-adjusts. Like even some things I'll be like, yo, nah, I think I got to talk to him about it. Like he kind of already knows. Like so he adjusts himself, but even with like everyone else, like I talk to him, I'm like, yo, I think this is what we need to do, and they react positively. It's not like they're like, because at first I was thrown off. I was like, I don't know what we doing here, but I feel like this is almost, and I've said it like publicly. I say, yo, this might be like Love and Hip Hop on some. This might be like Love and Hip Hop we're just on a debate set, right? Because we're not having conversations. We're having like these moments of flare-ups.
And you never want that. You don't want to become a caricature of yourself. And,
I mean,
and a lot of times when you're reading these social media comments and you're reading what people are saying on YouTube, you're like, oh shit, let me give them more of that. One thing you said just now that was very interesting. You said you've built this up over 5 years.
Yeah.
What I hate about hip hop fans are so fucking fickle. Yeah. Like they don't. Nobody has cachet when it comes to hip hop fans. Yeah. Like, and what I mean by that is Breakfast Club could be around for 7 years. A show like Everyday Struggle could come, have 2 interviews that people watch, and everybody like, oh my God, y'all taking over. Like that's not the way none of this shit works, and it shows how fickle hip hop fans are. You have to be consistent over 7 years. The reason people trust you, and Complex came to you at this point to say, you know what, Akademiks, we think that you're an authority in the culture now, is because of what you built up over the past 5 years. So I don't want anybody to ever feel like, you know, brief moments are what you should base a whole situation on.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because what's going to end up happening is, and what you're saying is very important, when you have these, like you say 90 days from now, you want to just have content out there.
I want 9 months. I'm looking long term.
You know why? Because every day, you're not going to have a Little Yachty interview every day.
Right.
You're not going to have a Wale interview every day.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, you and Joe have to be the most 2 entertaining people that people come to watch every fucking day.
Yeah. I agree.
That's what you got to put your foundation on. So you can't do that because...
Hey, truth be told, and listening up until this point, I don't think that's hate. I think this is constructive criticism and advice. Now, if I'm wrong on that, please tell me. Seems like this is constructive criticism and advice. Am I off with that assessment or no? I don't see this is low-key hate. I think we doubled back to the Joe thing. But in terms of the show, I think it's genuine criticism and advice.
Coming to character to yourself. You just won't.
True.
It'll burn out.
Yeah.
Like I heard Joe today say, fuck L.A. Reid.
Oh, that's not even close. You gotta watch the whole interview.
What do you say?
All he does is call him a sexual predator the entire interview.
See, that's the stupid. And you can't do that, Joe. Because Joe, you would hate that.
I'm
if I called you a woman beater a whole interview, you'd be upset.
Bro, I'm gonna just say
sexual predator.
Truth be told,
the whole interview, I watched the whole interview last night. I wanted to be prepared for you coming on.
Yeah. And
it was an interesting interview, but the whole interview he's calling Ellie Reid a sexual predator, and then you were like, well, how old are the girls coming in? And he's like 18. And it's like, first of all, 18 up is legal. I don't care how old you are. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing.
There's grass on the infield.
Yeah. Listen, again, with building rapport, right? And I guess, like, I'm not too sure if you guys were like friends before you guys did a podcast.
Yeah, we knew each other
Okay,
before,
so that's different, right? So I met Joe with Complex.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, I'm learning Joe. Like, you know what I mean? Of course, we've kicked it outside of even the work structure because you got to build rapport because it's all going to translate. If you guys really don't know each other, fuck with each other, it's going to translate on camera. So, like, we've been trying to build that rapport. But, like...
You going to the pool party?
Well, if Complex cut the check, I'll probably be there just showing up.
Really?
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, they got to pay you to go to Joe's pool party?
Well, supposedly they might be.
Oh, they want to do the show from the pool party.
They might be doing something like.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So if they're in there, now if it's just Joe, I'll go support Joe. But if Complex gets,
I wouldn't go into that environment because you got to think you're gonna be with Rory, Mal, Official Ice, all these people that want to probably be in your spot will jump you.
Oh, they can hate you.
I've met one of them before. I met Rory. He's a white guy.
Right? They're not hard to tell
I
apart.
fuck with
Rory's
Rory,
the white
man.
one.
I like Rory. Yeah.
He seems cool.
Rory's cool, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I like Rory. Why? What's
truth
up?
be told,
Little passive aggressiveness toward academics from Rory.
Really?
Yeah.
On what? What happened?
Just you don't listen to the pod. You don't listen to the Joe Budden podcast.
Yeah, that was a little wild.
You don't listen to that.
They had the best name for a podcast and they got rid of it. I'll name this podcast later. It was brilliant.
I listened to the podcast the week off when we debuted, but I don't like. That's never been in my list.
I don't think they respect you. I've talked to guys like B. Dot from Rap Radar and Epic Records, and I don't think they respect you. They don't feel like you're an authority on the culture. They're like, what have you done to be able to have an opinion? Which is stupid.
Respect is earned, dog. Don't worry about that shit right now.
I mean, truth be told, I mean, I don't give a fuck about what they
That's
think.
the attitude.
Listen. If they built up the audience and if the audience had respected their opinion like they respected mine, they would be in the same position. So,
you hear that, Rory?
No, I ain't taking no shots. I ain't taking no shots. I ain't taking no shots. But when I
take shots, man. That's the other thing. You gotta sit down in your shit.
No.
You gotta watch how Trump does it.
Are you the real Dundada?
Yo,
the baddest Jamaican on the internet?
Real talk.
Now, when I look at,
are you a coke?
Come on, you be
when I
like
look
Joe
at,
Budden now.
When I look like, are y'all trying to Joe me in his face? Hey yo, but on some real, like when I look at just the media landscape, I've never competed with any radio personality or media or internet personality. I've just done my own thing. So like now I got my own platform. I don't think about anything they say because other than like y'all asking me, I've never had like an opinion on them. If they're all great, Like, if I always say the fans will do the ultimate talking. If you're talented, if you're knowledgeable, they decide. I can't listen. If you want me to show you I brought I ain't gonna be doing that. If the fans have decided. You got to get it up with the fans.
That's a fact.
And also, I might not be the authority on your hip-hop because a lot of people are dated. And that's the reason why I'm here, right? A lot of my supporters, they fuck with me for the new wave that a lot of people, like Joe, they discredit. They don't fuck with. Those are fuck boys. But
I told you that's your strength.
There needs to be a voice that represents those people.
I agree.
Again, if anybody has... That's why I don't like... I don't even hear those type of conversations because, number one, I don't put myself... It's funny, and I was telling, like, even the people at Complex, I'm like, they be mentioning all these, like, industry people. I'm like, I literally know, like, 5 people.
You don't have to.
And I'm like, I'm like, Charlamagne was the first, I guess, are you industry? The first industry person I know.
Yeah.
I'm like Joe is, like, second or third or fourth.
Yeah.
And I know, like, one more. That's it. Like, I don't care to know. I don't want to be around y'all circles. I don't need to be cool with y'all. I have my audience, and I've always remained loyal to my audience. I only cater to my audience.
You're the
Anything
little
else,
Yachty of the industry.
Yeah, I'll be the outcast. I don't want to be the poster child of whack niggas, though. Okay, but...
you are the Rory.
the
Rory. Rory feels that way.
What do you mean?
He feels like Akademiks the poster child for like... He said he was tweeting about it. He was
What
like...
did he say?
He was basically trying to say like guys like... He didn't say his name, but he was like Akademiks rep for the guys who don't leave the house, who stayed in the basement.
I didn't know Rory's all salty like this.
Hey,
a little bit.
I don't like this, Rory.
You think it's salt?
I think it's a little salt,
Little
man. Yeah.
No. Well, to
all
that
I see
point-
is Rory posting Throwback Thursdays.
No,
When I used to be a jogger or
How do
something.
we know Rory's not Dominican?
Oh, like Drewski?
Yeah. How do we know Rory's
These
not...
light-skinned
You sure Rory not
Dominicans coming
Spanish?
out here.
Yo, to that
no,
point, though, like, we had Wale up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess maybe I'm not, like, again, maybe I'm just new hip-hop guy or whatever, but, like, Wale was up there and he said, yo, let me tell you something, son. Back in high school, I was the guy who was the running back. I got all the bitches. I did this. And the whole time he was telling me, he was like, yo, you was a loser. And I was like, I was like, that's not no diss no more. Like that's the new people who are popping. None of them were cool.
Being the
You
nerd is
can't
cool.
tell
Like,
me Uzi was
I'm
the
with
cool.
you.
Was
I'm with
Uzi the cool nigga in college? Was Yachty? Yachty said he lost his virginity last year. Salute to my nigga Yachty. That's my guy.
Yeah.
But yo, again, you don't have to be like the best thing I love about where hip hop is going.
Yeah.
And that's why I like to stay my lane.
Yeah.
Is that you don't have to pretend to be
A
anything
street
you're not.
nigga.
Yeah, like
a
yo,
D-boy.
I'm none of that.
High school should not be the coolest part of your life. And
Yo.
if it is, you fell the fuck off.
And you,
You know what I'm saying?
here's
Like,
the funny part about it: the people
you're
who
the
were cool
bad
in high
guy
school,
from
they
every
fell
rom-com.
off.
No,
Yo, I don't know
mean that.
anybody cool in high school who's popping out.
Sure.
Not one.
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't a loser in high school like you.
Were you the running back?
This is a good question.
Were you the running
basketball team, you know what I'm
This is a good question. What kind of guy were you in high school, Academic?
Truthfully, that's why my name is Akademiks. I've always been really into my studies. Like, I really did not do much social shit.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? I wasn't, like, I
When
played
did you first
soccer.
get some pussy?
Huh?
When did you first get some pussy?
Early. But I'm Jamaican. I was born in Jamaica. So when
what
I,
happens?
when, like,
What's different about that?
Jamaican niggas is fucking at 12, bro.
Really?
Are they fucking or getting molested?
Yeah, are you getting
All
diddled?
right, listen. Let's just
You even sucked your teeth like a Jamaican just now. You heard that shit.
Yo, you really getting molested? I thought you
No,
was
I
a
ain't getting
fast.
molested. Nah,
Run.
I'm not no. But what I'm saying,
I know victim, bro.
in Jamaica, like 12 is the age with like you're getting popping.
Yeah.
But over here, I think I was like 17.
Because of those dance moves.
17 in college. Yo, college was a new experience. Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
It was cool.
College was
Jaga.
Yo, college was
That's
a
what
new
those kids
experience
see.
to me,
They
yo.
try to fuck.
Because when I went to college,
Well, you
like
went to Rutgers, right?
yeah, I went to Rutgers. Like
Yeah.
when I went to high school, I was like definitely the outcast nigga. You know why? Because everybody like I don't know what schools you guys went to, but like the people who were friends in high school, they went to elementary together. Like they grew up together.
Yeah.
So you just get transplanted over here. They're like, yo, who the fuck is this guy?
And you had an
So,
accent too?
I didn't really have an accent,
Yeah,
truth be
yeah.
told. But I couldn't assimilate to the culture. The shit they're into, like
Yeah.
I come over here, they're arguing about Nas and what the fuck? Like
Yeah.
I wasn't. I'm still. My mind is somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
So
where was
they-
your mind?
Well, still in the country I was born in, right?
Right,
So
right.
like I wasn't assimilated to the culture yet. It took me.
Well, maybe stop carrying fucking beef patties around all day. You
So
know what I mean?
ignorant. You
Jesus
is nigga,
Christ,
bro.
this is America.
Nah,
They
listen,
took you
hey, yo, I still rock with beef patties. I was
We can tell. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I was gonna get to that, but I want you to finish your story. We'll get to that later. The one critique I have for you from that show is you look fat as fuck on camera. I'm looking at this shit. I'm like, this nigga's all thighs and cheeks. Like,
Hey, yo.
I'm gonna get to that later, but go ahead, continue.
No. All right, we gotta get to that too. But so what happens is after high
DJ
school,
Bean Pie.
So after high school, right? After high school, I go to college. It's the first time I really like ingratiated with like American culture, like in
Right.
terms of like I was one of them.
Right.
You get me? Rather
Yep.
than this is my clique, this is making clique, and college was fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
When you start DJing, was that part of the assimilation?
yeah, because music was the only thing that really crossed over. Like music crossed over, and I
You DJed in Jamaica?
No, but I loved music in Jamaica,
Okay.
right? And that's why even I went to being a radio personality, right? Or media. I'm going to just say internet personality. The reason why is that in Jamaican culture, the DJ is the voice of the culture. We call him a selector, right? Like they speak a lot. If you ever go to a Jamaican party, like they playing the music, they cut it off, they talk for 2 minutes. And then play music again. But selector. They're the voice of the culture. Now, when I come over here and I started doing music production, I was trying to be like Just Blaze, Kanye, Heatmakers for a little while. Of course, it wasn't really working, right? And then my friends in college like, yo, let's do parties. It's like, we need a DJ. And I'm like, well, I'm using some of the same software because I'm sampling shit. So I started doing that. And then I was like, yo, I want to do more. Because I'm like, yo, back in my country and like in my culture, like they're like the DJ, you don't just spin records and shut the fuck up. That's what happens a lot of times. You're like, yo, the only thing you might say be like, yo, if you know your pussy ain't stink, put your hand up and play a record. I'm like, this ain't what. I'm like, I got to be the voice. So I gravitated towards radio and like speaking more. And from there, I got kicked off college radio, and then I found the internet. And
One of my former interns, salute to Sasha Nicole. I remember, I don't even know how I met Akademiks. This is years ago.
Oh, yeah, I remember this story.
And you wanted to come interview me. And I'm like, cool. That's the type of person I am. I'm not going to, I see the little guy trying to come up. I'm like, come through.
This is one of the realest moves I think ever happened.
So Sasha goes, no. I don't want him up here. I do not like him. I hate him. He got me. I don't know if you got her kicked off college radio. I don't know what it was.
Yo, we had a show together, right?
Okay.
So we got a show together on college radio. Now, I was on the edge with it. They would be like, hey, only talk, because it's not a hip hop station. It's like hip hop, rock, everything,
Yeah.
country. So they're training you how to do radio. It's college. They're like, hey, we want you to have a mic break, talk for 3 minutes, no more than 3 minutes, and then we need you to just play music for like 30 minutes and then come back again. And I was like, hell no, I ain't doing that. So I'm like off the. I'm doing all type of shit with it. They wanted to play a playlist. I'm like, hell no. I had Big Sean ass playing. I didn't even know. I thought it was a clean version one day. Yeah. So I played the wrong version of the song on college radio. Yeah. So the clean version of Big Sean, like ass is the dance. So I played the wrong version because I'm a DJ. I got like 10 versions of every song. Yeah. Apparently, because I was like popping as a DJ, and then I went on college radio at the school. The program director used to be listening to the show. She was mad, so I had a show at like late night, some shit, but she was listening. Okay. She was like, I turned on the show and I hear the music being played and you're talking all wild and stuff. That's not what we trained you. So it was like my second warning, but I was on the show with
Sasha Nicole.
With Sasha that time, right? So basically, I remember we had a meeting and they were trying to kick me off of the radio. And I told them, I said, yo, she's new to this. I've been here for a while. And also I was kind of building my cachet online because I would just, everything I did on radio, I would put it to online. And then I realized, I'm like, yo, I'm kind of getting more views online with this stuff. Why am I on the radio? Especially when they told us how many people was listening. I'm like, they're only giving us a mic in just a fucking room, right? Mm-hmm. So I was begging. I said, yo, don't kick her off. She's new. I'm good. You could ban me from the station, right? That was the last time I really saw her until the day with you. But I guess what happened is they kicked both of us off because we had a joint show. She didn't come in that day that did all that fuck shit. You feel me? So she blames it like I fucked
she
up
definitely
her chance.
She said he's a fuck nigga. I don't want him. She's Haitian too, by the way.
No, but the funny thing about it, yo, so the time I met Charlamagne, right, and that's why I was telling people, I'm like, yo, I don't deal with anybody in the industry and nothing like that, but I'm like, yo, I always give Charlamagne the credit of being just genuine, because yo, we met off Twitter. Like we used to go back and forth about stuff he said on the radio or like interviews or anything going on in the culture. And like he followed me and I started to do interviews and everybody was giving me the runaround. I would try to get like interviews and be like, yo, hit my manager, okay, hit my agent, hit that. It's like 20 different people. I hit him with a DM. He's like, yo, just come on. Real easy. So I went up there. And then I run into the chick who I used to have a show with.
Sasha.
I don't know we have any problem. Because the last time I saw her, she was in tears. And I was begging the program director to like kick me off.
So what happens when you see her?
She was cool. She was like, all right, let's go up, blah, blah. She was like, I know you've been wanting to interview him. Like you looked up to him and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I didn't know we had a problem.
You're in the elevator, her.
Yeah, she's cool, smiling. I didn't know we had no problem.
Yeah, she definitely didn't like you. I don't know.
No. The reason why I said it was a real move, because as soon as we came to you, you put it out there. Like you didn't.
Oh yeah, I don't play that. I don't like.
Yeah, he can't keep anything in his head. It's too much. It just comes out of me.
But you gotta think about me, right? You gotta think about me. Like if somebody's like smiling your face and all that type of stuff, like you're thinking it's good because I really didn't know we had a problem. Yeah. I thought she was on the radio still. Right. Because I left the station thing. I'm doing my own thing now.
Yeah. So all right. So he says it, and then what happens?
He says it. That's the first time I know. So we start kind of mediating the issue right there. I don't even know. Like, I mean, I apologize to her. I'm not too sure if she took it. Yeah. I'm not too sure. Again, we saw what she did before, but I thought it was such a real move to rather than. Well, number one, he could have said
he does that shit selfishly.
No.
Don't let him think that he's doing it for y'all. Let me tell you something. This is how Charlamagne works. No. I'm gonna tell you some real shit. You ever seen like some potatoes boil?
Yeah.
And you know when the water's boiling, it starts to bubble and come over the brim? That's his constant state.
I'm giving him credit.
Okay? His constant state is the water in the pot is bubbling. So if you put even one more potato in there, he immediately got to say, hey, this bitch don't like you. Hey, she don't like you, Akademiks. I don't know what the fuck it is.
I just want people to get to the problem.
Man, it's right here. If he don't get it out, he's uncomfortable.
Even regardless of that problem,
yeah,
it was easy for him to say, like, if you have somebody around you that you know and someone else you don't know, right? Even if it's like it's a Twitter nigga, like you guys would trade a couple tweets, he could have said, man, I ain't talking to you, like, yo, I'm canceling this shit. Don't come up here, right? For whatever reason. Now, again, I would have never knew all of this. the fact that he actually.
He ain't being real, bro.
He ain't being real?
It's literally...
Yo, expose Charmin. What happened?
It's not exposing. It is realness, but it's not like I'm going to try to help you out. It is truth in its most real essence, but he can't help it. I remember once we were in a fucking... It's so organic to this motherfucker. I remember one of the first times we hung out, yo. MTV Movie Awards. I've known him 3 days, right? 3 days total in the time we know each other. This motherfucker's passed out drunk in the back of the SUV. I'm there with my boy, and my boy got his girl next to him, right? This motherfucker passed out drunk. Wakes up. He goes, yo, who are you? And my boy goes, oh, that's my girl. He goes, oh, yeah? You sucking dick? She goes, wait for it. She goes, no. He goes, all right then. Right back to sleep. Right back to sleep. Don't even stay awake. Once he knows dick sucking off the table, my man went right back to sleep. This is what's in it. What happened was the shit started bubbling, and it was like, hey, maybe she's sucking dick. Maybe she's sucking dick.
You never know. You never know until you ask.
Hey, well, maybe I had Charmin fucked up, but because of that.
No, I really just wanted, like, first of all, I'm not going to ever take anybody's word for something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Because I knew Sasha at the time. I know her way better now. But at the moment.
I heard, I discussed it the next day on the Breakfast Club, too. And, like, the other two co-hosts, Envy and Angela, they were like, yo, I wouldn't have fucked with that nigga, and you defended it. You were like, yeah, I did an interview with him. Yeah, I'm defending it. And because of that, I know you weren't the person to do something and then, like, backtrack and then just, like...
Nah,
because
not.
That's what I've seen a lot of times. Like, you see one side of people, and then in another situation around other people, it's a different side.
Absolutely.
So, just based on you being transparent, and that's why even going back to, like, the comments, people like, yo, you say... I'm like, yo, whatever he said...
Ultimate transparency.
Whatever he said on the radio or a podcast, I know he would call me and say that to me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You get me? He would not, it's not something that he's saying in a slick way, and he would probably say in a more raw way to me. Like, he's giving me multiple advice. Like, and advice that I've always said there's only a couple people that I could talk to, and even if, like, I have retort, I shut up and listen. I mean, when he gives advice, and it's usually from a good place.
So what's some advice for academics, Charlamagne?
Some advice I've given academics over the years.
No. Now, given the current situation,
Oh, I told him this a couple weeks ago. It's just like, yo, don't lose your platform. Even if you're doing Everyday Struggle, every day after the show, you do some type of after show. So the thoughts and ideas that you wanted to get out on that show, you take it right back to
that's great.
Your YouTube page.
Yeah, that's
Because because people still looking for your opinion. There's a lot of people tuning into that show to watch Akademiks.
Shit, Complex is taking your followers and bringing them to the Complex website.
Yeah.
So do the same thing they're doing. Now you do your after the Everyday Struggle with DJ Akademiks, and then take some of those Complex fans and have them talk to you on it.
And my advice for you and Joe is respect each other. Yeah. And what I mean by that is, I told you this too, you're not going to out hip-hop Joe. Joe's 47. You know what I'm saying? And he's been around for a long motherfucking time. And he knows hip-hop. He lived through a lot of shit that you discovered. You understand? It's a difference.
Yeah.
When you live through something, it's different. Like, Joe was there with Nas' Illmatic album, with Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt. You're discovering this stuff. You probably had to go back to listen to a lot of this stuff.
It's like
but Joe can't get with you on the young shit.
Exactly.
I told you the other day, the Akademiks posted a list, and he was like, pick your top 10 for the XXL freshman list. I'm like, nigga, I'm out of the loop. I know A Boogie and that. I don't know. I knew A Boogie and Ugly God. But you had like 20 people on the list.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that don't make me feel old. That's just discovery. Like, yo, Akademiks, who are these people? I hit Relly on Smash. Relly, who are these people? When Tax was around, Tax, who are these people? Like, I want to know. So, like, I just think y'all need to have more respect for each other because you can learn from him and he can learn from you.
Hey,
I think you need no joke, you guys need to go party. You need to get drunk. You, him, and the girl. I don't know her name. But you guys need to, what's her name?
Nadeska.
Ladeska?
Nadeska.
I don't know her name. Is it Nadeska?
The girl on the show?
Yeah, she the one who narrates it. Bro, he only watches the clips.
I only watch the clips.
No, she's actually very good, the girl. She's very professional.
She used to be at MTV, I believe. Yeah.
I don't know. No, I don't think she'll ever at MTV.
I do know
think she used to work it on the Hottest MC joint with Sway.
Anyway, Nadeska.
I wasn't there then.
So the three of you guys need to go out, just get drunk. No people around. Just go to a small dive bar or some shit and get loose and just get comfortable with each other and then see how you actually feel. In that environment where you know that there's an audience and people...
Hey, was that disrespect? I don't know. I said Nadeska, this nigga said Ladeska. I'm like, yo, hold up, man. I don't know. Y'all thought that was disrespect. Like, I think first of all, I don't think Andrew really knows. Charlamagne might know her though. They used to work at MTV. I don't know if together, but she used to do a show called Rap Fix Live with Sway. I forgot that, but she did also the MTV like hottest MCs list before. I think Charlamagne did it last in like December. So I think he's at MTV now. She was just at MTV like over a year ago. I would think they would know each other, but I don't know. Disrespect or not?
But watching, we often talk about on the show. It's like
Hold on, let me get this right one more time. Yeah, just let me know.
everything you say, you know that the internet, it's like the schoolyard where people are going, ooh, and it creates a...
Somebody said defend your girl. Nah, it's called... You got to stand up for your co-host, nigga. All right, anyway.
I don't know how to exactly say it, but it creates an interesting dynamic that's not conducive to friendship. It's conducive to competition. Competition's good, but you want to have mutual respect.
You, right? Like in a lot of cases, right? Me and Joe, we have very civil conversations outside of the show, like about even some of the same things, right? Like just sometimes I believe with the atmosphere the show kind of creates, it doesn't kind of come across.
Joe is very aware.
It's an entertainment factor, right? Like,
it's very entertaining.
For some people, they love hearing. Like, I guess when you're talking hip hop, you can't just talk about like, should LeBron be MVP, right? Like how they do on like ESPN. So there's loud tempers, standing up, all that type of stuff.
That's not true, though. You can have a civil conversation. This is the problem. Joe's very aware of the cameras. He's very aware of social media, and he just hates your type. Like, that's the truth.
That's why
Joe
it makes a good
hates
show, though.
Akademiks type. He hates that internet.
That's why it makes a good show.
But
right?
you have to make sure that you protect your brand. That's my one concern. I love the show, and I love the dynamic. It's kind of funny when he's, saying these things to you that are quite disparaging and condescending. That being said, you got to protect your brand. You can't be out there looking foolish because that will tarnish your image. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
I agree.
So that's important.
I've had conversations with everybody in between it and just saying like, hey, listen, even certain cuts going out, and I'm like, hey, listen, y'all got to let me know if we're on the same page. Like,
you just need to throw a punch.
No, you don't.
You just need to throw one punch, bro. That's it.
I've always said I don't care if there's a million cameras on. I never act out of character.
Right.
Like when the cameras go on or it's off, and that's what I've always said. I say to everyone, whatever I say to you in private, if it needs to go to public, because I'm usually the same person. I'm never like a different person, or I'm not like acting for the cameras. If I ever have to act for the cameras or be something else, I wouldn't do it.
Did you feel pressure when Wale came? Because that's another thing I used to tell academics historically. I'm like, look, when you're critiquing these people, because for me, the real respect comes from when you say this to the person.
Hey, let me pause. Like, you see, that's true. Like, when Kanye came up there, he called me and he's like, yo, see how I handle that? Like he's been giving me little lessons. Like we talked way back, and he was like, listen. He's like, listen, I listened to some of your stuff, yo. He's like, you have to make sure that the stuff you're saying, you would also say if the people were there with you. It was like, it's easy to just be in a studio or just record somewhere and just say stuff. But will you say it if the person's there? And he said, I want you to be aware of that, because if you run into people, you often got to repeat the same stuff you say. You can't be like, nah, I ain't say that. And I internalize that. So, like, that's a true thing. Like, he's always, like, he used himself, and he's giving me lessons in that. You get me? Even with Birdman, it was like, yo, see what happened with the Birdman joint. So,
person's face. Like, I don't like everybody. I don't respect none of these cultural critics if they don't sit down and talk to people face to face and say the same. I want you to have that same energy when the person's not there as you do to them. That's one of the reasons, I guess people gravitate towards me and fuck with me, because they'll know if I give somebody Donkey today, if I say something on the air, when that artist comes, I'm gonna say it to them. So I always told academics, don't say things if you're not willing to say it to that person's face. So did you feel pressure when Wale came?
I actually didn't, yo. My whole thing, though, because I knew he was coming in with some energy. When Wale came, I
called him corny.
I ain't call him corny.
You didn't call him corny, but
right? That's like people say you call Yachty
Whack.
Yachty Whack. Yeah. What I said is that there's certain people on social media, and again, I'll own I'm the internet social media nigga, right? But when I read popular perception of certain people, it's corny, right? Like, people consider those people corny. Bow Wow, Nick Cannon, and by the way, all these people I like. Ray J.
I think Nick Cannon's outgrown the Coney thing.
Playing with my
Well, at one point,
at one point, because Nick is like a businessman now. Like you got to respect Nick. I mean, Nick.
Yo, and by the way,
he
and
really
this is,
works hard, so you don't.
No, and this is a difference between me calling somebody corny or saying that, as opposed to kind of just really judging a cultural view by the masses of someone.
Sure.
Like, say Ray J. A lot of people think he corny. Ray J is a legend to me.
I love Ray J. I think
like a lot of people even like his song.
Nick Cannon's like the owner of the Clippers. Have you ever seen the owner of the Clippers? He's the guy.
Wait, are we talking about Don Sterling?
No, before that. His name is Steve Ballmer. He used to own Microsoft. He's like this fucking cornball that's always like rooting on the sidelines, and he makes a GIF. Every time he's going to be turned into a GIF. That being said, he's a billionaire. So the motherfucker knows what he's doing. And the same thing is with Nick Cannon. Is like, everything he does, you're like, man, this is corny. Why are you wearing a fucking turban? Like, what the hell is going on? That being said,
why are you doing a Chirac?
I got to respect what's going on. But at the same time, your business is great, so I have to respect the business.
So basically, I said that on the show because I was trying to figure out why people aren't flocking to Wale, or they're not connecting with him like I see the other top artists.
It's not about the music, man. It's about the personality, like you said. People care about personality, man.
So that's where I made the comment from, right? I see people like Drake. I think the top 4 right now, we got Drake, no order, Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick, and Big Sean. Right?
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
I think after there, the first tier is done. Now we're talking about second tiers. We could put Meeks and stuff.
I don't know. We got to switch that up a little bit.
Real quick, can we talk about first tier? Real quick.
First tier. You got to put Chance first tier now.
Yeah,
you got to put Chance first tier.
I got no problem with that.
You got to put Chance first.
Actually, I had a problem with him calling new artists.
But let's talk about first tier, right? And I think we need to talk about, and you brought this up earlier, about the importance of life. Like, you know, the 360 deal that the record companies have now? We have a 360 deal with these artists. You're not going to just make music for us, motherfucker. You're going to be entertaining. You're going to be thought-provoking. You're going to change government. You're going to, you know what I mean? You're going to date the right chick. So think about the top 5 you just mentioned. Drake fucked every damn famous girl that we know already.
Drake is the last traditional rap superstar. And what I mean by that is he's the last guy that you'll see sitting courtside at the games, like really owning it, out with the bad R&B chick like Rihanna.
Chance could do it, though.
Drake is the last traditional rap superstar.
Interesting. Yeah, these guys are
Chance might own it in the future. Right now, it doesn't look like he would be doing some of the stuff Drake would do.
But look at. So we know Drake had the girlfriends,
jewelry. Drake even buys jewelry. None of those other guys buy jewelry.
So let's check it out. Jewelry. What is traditional rap? Jewelry. You got girlfriend,
big car,
courtside
at the game,
the game. What else is
shit talking? I'm the best.
Battle rap. I'm the best. I'm the greatest. Right.
Drake's the last traditional rap superstar.
Absolutely agree. Now we got Sean. Sean had big girlfriends too. He had Naya Rivera.
He had a pop star.
He's always dating a pop star. Yeah. He's doing the rap prototype in a way when you think about it. Now on the level of Drake, but like then you got Cole, right? Cole went the woke angle.
Cole and Kendrick, yeah.
Well, Kendrick is weird. Kendrick is like half woke.
Kendrick is shade butter Twitter, like he is
woke. But didn't Kendrick before that get caught up in some shit? Remember he released some song?
Oh yeah, he said the song. He was like, "Show me something natural." Like
no, I'm talking about before that. Before he went woke, remember there was like a last album. He said something. He got tons of shit for it. And then all of a sudden the next album came out and it was like super woke and super.
I don't remember. He's always had a consciousness about him. Always.
Right, fair enough.
By the way, J. Cole. Real quick on that, J. Cole for your eyes only is whack, bro.
Nah, man.
Yes, it is, man. It's like I think we love Cole so much.
Yeah.
We love what he stands for.
Yeah.
He's giving us great albums.
Honestly,
that last album was weak, bro.
I honestly think that opinion is coming from you not seeing that album lasting like others. Like a lot of people still playing More Life. A lot of people, of course, are playing Damn. I think
it's just weak.
I think Cole's album, because it didn't have any type of singles or any type of moments that stand out.
His last album had no singles. He put this album out the same way you put out Forest Hills Drive.
Just driving in a car, I'm like, yo.
Because radio picked records from it because they was popping. Forest Hills Drive got released the same exact way. It's just this album didn't have that shit on there. Like it just didn't.
Maybe Cole's not in the top 5, man.
Fuck out of here.
Nah, he is.
No, I'm not.
Out of
look,
here.
again, you guys are professionals, but he don't check off all the boxes. He checks off one box.
He checks off pretty much every box that Kendrick checks
Where's
off.
the girl at?
Where's the girl? Of course, he has Mrs., I believe. But
who?
like,
Chance? Chance's
girl. I'm
girl.
talking about Kendrick. Which box does Kendrick check off that Cole doesn't check off?
Personality.
Yeah.
Kendrick has this big personality that Cole doesn't.
Not big, but we understand the logic behind a lot of Kendrick's music more than Cole, because Kendrick is just a little bit more vocal.
You know
than
what
Cole.
Kendrick checks off?
Just a little bit more.
He's more vocal, but you know what else he checks off, man? He checks off the gang box, even though he's not in it. Even though he's not in it. Even though he's not in it.
Yo, that's not no box no more, man.
Yeah, that's not a box.
No, we're talking about the
Soulja Boy checked off the gang box.
Nah, but
Does this shit
Soulja Boy's
matter?
like, you're not gonna say that Kendrick didn't grow up in a blood family, in a blood neighborhood, and
Does that matter though? Outside of the West Coast, does
No,
that
it
really
doesn't.
matter?
we're talking about perception. And look, maybe to you guys it doesn't, but we're talking about perception, right? Like having the girlfriend, having these other things that prop you up past the music and the bars, right? Creating this personality. Like the fact Kendrick had the sneaker wear was one Crip, one Blood. You know, he's played into the gang thing. Let's not act like he
by
doesn't.
the way, Kendrick just makes better music than Cole.
Yeah, okay,
Fair
okay,
enough.
okay.
Absolutely.
Like, that's fair.
He's the most
does.
talented
But
of all of them in
here's
terms
a
of
box
rap.
that I believe Cole checks off that maybe Drake checks off a little bit too, but J. Cole's music, I believe his fans has grown with him. Like all of Cole's fans from when he was doing a $1 and a Dream joint, they've grown with him.
Cole's Scientology.
Yeah, okay, but
Like that's what Cole is. It's like everybody else that isn't in the Church of Scientology is like, yo, this some bullshit, bro. What the fuck y'all like so much? But motherfucker.
Hey, Andrew, y'all gotta realize Andrew's not that well, like he's not that well versed on hip hop. He's a comedian, so oftentimes when he interjects, he does what comedians do a lot of time. He'll make a point, which is really the joke, but just have some loose reasoning why he thinks he could back it off. Like when he said, "I'll tell you what box he checks off," the gang box. That's the joke. Now, loosely trying to connect it and trying to validate it, it's where he tries to that's what comedians do. So, again, when I hear some shit like that, he's not hip-hop, my nigga. You get me? But he acknowledges it.
Fuckers love Scientology.
You do got a cult-like following.
Hey, because a lot of people call him, some people call him the Napkin Cole. They say he's boring, right? He put people to sleep.
Bro.
But his fans defend him vigorously. But his fans has
I'm
grown
not
with
gonna
him.
lie, Academics. One day, all of us are gonna be sitting here. We're gonna talk about how 250,000 Cole fans just died after drinking some sippy cup shit.
Nah,
it's gonna happen. All these
Listen,
motherfuckers
man,
gonna kill
I
themselves.
want
It's gonna happen.
everybody out there. I love Cole. I think Cole is really dope. Cole is definitely top tier. I always say he's one of the top 3, guys out right
You really
now.
thought his album was whack?
Yes, For Your Eyes Only is not hot, bro. Like it's even compared.
Am I tripping on that? Am I tripping on that or no? I don't think Cole album wet, man. I need y'all to let me know though.
Compared to his other albums and mixtapes, it's like, what is this? Like it's super boring. Like I'm talking about like if you ever like sniff a line of coke and just want to clean up the whole house. Or smoke some indica and have a little downer and just like start scrubbing.
No, I ain't say it was trash. Like I said, it was boring. Boring don't mean trash. Like shit is boring, but doesn't mean it's trash. To Pimp a Butterfly was boring. Doesn't mean it's trash. A lot of stuff that isn't very entertaining or filled with moments doesn't mean it's trash. Like Cole album is trash. I feel like that's such an opinion that's spreading. I'm wondering why.
Shit, like that nigga make vacuum. That album is a vacuum. That's an album to vacuum to, bro. I'm serious. Like that shit.
So he makes music for maids.
Yes,
That's what you're trying
like
to
it's
say.
elevator. It's hip hop elevator music. Like when you
hearing-
walk in a hotel.
Okay, what I'm hearing you say though is that it didn't have moments. You're not saying it's whacking in terms of its overall quality. You're just saying it's just so.
It's just not sonically good. You know how like when you're at a hotel and like you want to leave around like 12:30 because the maids are gonna come in and you walk through the hall and you hear that little music playing. That shit, he literally has a song on there about folding clothes.
What's the problem? Yeah.
I mean, listen, I'm not into it. And I love Cole, but that For Your Eyes Only shit.
Do y'all fuck with Logic?
No. I actually said today I don't know any Logic fans. Matter of fact, I know one. His name is Daniel. He works at the radio station.
Is he white or biracial?
White.
Okay.
And I'm not knocking Logic. I'm just like I've listened to Logic. I listened to Logic first couple albums. He sounds too much like everybody else. Now I don't know if he's found his own style on this project.
He sounds a little bit like Kendrick on this project.
All
But
right. He always
however,
does a bad impression of Kendrick, Drake, and Cole to me.
But
I
he'll
always
own his
thought-
own style.
I always thought Kendrick was doing an impression of M. And nobody says that at all. But
Kendrick
there's times Kendrick be sounding just like Eminem. Man.
I mean, maybe it's an offshoot of it, but he owns what he's doing now. Like, at some point, you have to own it.
It's matured, but I agree.
Yeah.
The first few albums, there were times I was like, yo, you're doing the Eminem shit. You're doing the fantasy kind of, I don't know what the other word I'm trying to describe is, but like the surrealness of Eminem, like describing these fantastical situations. The flows sound like M, but nobody makes a connection, I think, because of the difference in race.
Well, let's pay some bills. I want to come back and talk about Logic, because I do have some questions about Logic.
Of today, what sets you aside in rap is personality or story. And I think that's why we gravitate towards the gangster rappers in a lot of ways, because we're like, yo, this story is wild.
Like
that's
21
crazy.
Savage.
21 Savage.
I liked his music sonically, but when I interviewed him, I'm like, yo, I like this guy's story.
This story, and you had always been somebody to champion him because you found him interesting as a dude.
Absolutely.
And even the raps that he said weren't maybe as clever as a Nas or as poetic as a Nas, but they're funny. They're intriguing. Like,
and
give
know
it a plan B.
So with everything you said, I feel like you're coming to the point where you're making a conclusion, right? So what's the problem with Wale? Because again, I saw everyone guessing.
Yeah,
I made my guess. He ain't like it.
So for me, the problem.
Why Wale flopping?
The problem with Wale is outside of the sneaker culture, right? Which he's definitely tapped into.
He said he put niggas on phones. Is that true? I'm super dumb about it.
I don't know. But outside of the sneaker culture,
is he sneaker nigga?
Not really. Not like that.
He doesn't really, I don't think he really resonates and taps into people. You know, so woke dudes tap into, and chicks tap into J. Cole, right? Definitely political people tap into Chance, right? Because Chance looks like he's a good guy. He's trying to help out. You know, Kendrick is just straight bars. Anybody who respects rap and respects rhyming is going to respect Kendrick. Drake is the heartthrob. He got all the hoes, right? And dudes that want to get hoes fuck with him.
Yeah.
Wale, outside the sneaker shit, and he does have sneakerhead fans, don't get me wrong, he doesn't have this personality that you're drawn to like maybe a French. Like Black Youngster. You know Black Youngster? You know the rapper Black Youngster?
Yeah, of course.
The motherfucker's so funny to me. I watch his videos on Instagram. I fucking die laughing. I only know one song, the song with him and Lil Yachty. But I'm drunk.
Fuck with Andrew. But a couple of comments Andrew made in the podcast. I think Andrew might be entertained with niggas cooning. You feel me? I don't want to just state that without more even proof, but like even certain stuff like he said, even about hip hop, I think he has maybe a dated stereotype about hip hop that still fuels some of his views. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't believe he's racist. I believe he has a stereotype. So like, you know who's probably the funniest two people to him? Black Youngster and Plies. I didn't mention Plies, but I had mentioned Plies. All right.
On to this character because he cracks me the fuck up. I never once laughed at anything Wale said in my life.
Yo, truth be told, I think Wale's problem, he don't let people in also. He he's not vulnerable. He's not vulnerable to his audience, right? Like,
no, he very is in his music. This is the problem. Wait. You know the problem with Wale?
Yo, he came on to the show, right?
Yep.
To defend himself against like the corny thing, right? And if you listen to most of the people who watch the entire joint, some people who never crossed their mind, they're like, I can see why people say it. He was trying so hard and
he was trying not to wild out on you.
Nah, he was trying also so hard to show why he's different rather than just like, for example, and this is the type of shit that be like, it fucks me up.
Did you tell him this when he was there?
Of course.
Okay.
Well, I didn't say this to him because the whole time I'm wondering like why. Like when I asked him, I'm like, yo, so are you good with the numbers? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine with it because the people connect to it. And I was like, that's news to me. Like, when I first made my comments about Wale texted everybody in the building. Everybody texted me too. Wale was like, "I kicking woman, I'm down." I'm like, so I knew he wasn't okay with it. So when I hear the cameras are on,
so you're supposed to say that right then and there.
You know, I should have.
Right then and there, you're supposed to say, "Well, that's not what I heard," because you was texting everybody in the building, like right then and there.
So that whole thing, it fucked me up because I'm like, yo, wait, are we just pretending like this is
Take that in, bro. Take that in, because that's huge advice, man.
I love that kind of inside information.
I know.
You see, though, I do take that as advice, though. Because I should have said that. Yo, Wale texted everybody at Complex when I made the opinion. So when he came and is like, nah, bro, I'm cool with me turn 28. I'm like, huh? Yo, you texted everybody that you didn't like that we were talking about you selling 28. I should have mentioned that there. But again, first of all, as I said, most of Complex, they fuck with Wale, and I didn't want to put them out there, be like, yo, you texted him. I didn't even want to call names. So, like, Complex not about like that. Like me, I'm very transparent with it. And I mean, he texted me, but so that's why I did bring up my text with him earlier in the conversation. I'm talking about just conversation with Wale. When I said, yo, you hit me about why I don't post your snippets, and I told you what it was.
Oh, but this is why he's so good at what he does. It's like he's almost autistically honest. You ever meet an autistic person, they don't know how to not be honest?
Autistically honest.
Listen, we had Designer on the show today. You know the first thing I said to Designer?
Yeah.
I don't know why you're here now because no, I'm gonna tell you why.
Dude,
That's
you see
how
Guardians of the
felt.
Galaxy, yo?
You're
Drax.
That's a
Drax.
very
You
true
are
thing.
Drax.
Drax is funny as hell.
You are Drax, bro.
When Drax told the girl, Drax
she
was
ugly
like,
as hell?
You're so ugly, but you're beautiful on the inside. That shit was funny.
That's very true what you said, though.
He never came to the Breakfast Club when Panda was red hot. And I said, now that you've cooled down a bit, you want to come to the show. And I'm like, didn't you just say fuck New York radio? Like, because I can't embrace you with open arms, knowing all of this shit. Like, and this is the stuff I'm telling the label. I'm talking to Natina before Designer gets there, and I'm like, why he ain't never come to the show when Panda was red hot? When he had the #1 song in the country. Oh, he was busy, blah, blah, blah. Don't do that to him. Make him feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm not comfortable.
Truth be told,
Okay, it's bubbling. It's bubbling.
No, truth be told, though, like, I've always wondered, like, out of all the new artists, is any artist, I've never seen a young artist complain about radio. Like, a lot of people say they get their success or their fans live on the internet. So when he actually said, fuck New York radio, he needs more support, it told me he's hurting. So that was the first sign that
He's
something
different,
going.
though. And I'm going to tell you why he's different. He's different because...
He's not of this generation with...
No, he's of this generation, but he's one of the few guys of this generation who actually blew up because of radio. Don't get me wrong, the internet got him popping.
Yeah.
But when Panda was the #1 record in the country. Like
before
radio...
Kanye, or...
What you mean? Yeah, but...
No, I think it was
Kanye. A little after Kanye.
Like, a lot of people didn't know. Yo, truth be told, I heard that Designer rap because I barely listen to radio, but I heard just driving through and like flicking on the radio. I'm like, I thought it was Future. So I'm like, yo, Future got a new record. I'm not hearing it.
Yeah.
So when Kanye put on the platform, I'm like, whoa.
Sure.
So I never thought the radio did as much for him as
absolutely.
maybe it did.
Taxstone introduced me to Designer. I used to see Taxstone tweeting about Panda all the time. But radio, absolutely. And I don't know if it's because Future was hot at the time, too, so it just fit in what was going on.
Yeah. Probably slid the DJ's a record.
Absolutely.
And
radio
worked in the mix.
He might be extra sensitive about radio because he grew up in New York and radio was so important and powerful in New York.
He said why today. He said honestly, I was acting like a bitch.
Hey, I agree with you. Somebody just said it. When Outlet didn't last or didn't succeed for Design, I said it's over. Outlet is arguably his best song. If that didn't go, that means the fan base not there. Because when you come back with another banger, your fan base, if it's there, is going to take it to the top. And that shit came, and he looked at his fan base. They're not here. He looked at his label. They're saying, we're trying. So now he's looking at radio like, what are y'all doing? Help me. He needed help. Outlet was too good to have flopped. He needed help. And he's dropped 3 songs since then. Nothing has helped him out. He needed help. Okay. Let me continue.
And I said to him, I was like, you feel like you're spoiled because of Panda? He was like, yeah. Because think about 19, that. That's why you never want that kind of success, bro.
Early. You don't want it early.
I've always said that.
Yeah.
The success that he has, Young M.A. has, they get the big hit before they get the fan base.
Like Jay-Z never had a #1 record till Blueprint 3.
And that's why the crowd say good. Yeah.
Until Blueprint 3.
That's why you see like Uzi now. Uzi been having the fan base. Like now his biggest single is this EXO Tour Life. You're looking at me like, who the fuck is that? But
Uzi Vert. I know Lil Uzi Vert.
But he got a song called EXO Tour Life, right?
Oh, I don't know that.
I don't know if radio's playing a lot, but like it's a top 5 record in the country, right? Now he's been building his fan base over years, just giving projects and dope songs.
Yeah.
So now when the song is here, it just completes the loop. It's not like Designer blew up so quick. He was left looking around after the song died down like, all right, so where's my true fans as opposed to the people who just like that particular song?
They didn't grow with him. It wasn't like Moss. You know, it was, Jay-Z in a way is like Kawhi Leonard on the Spurs.
Yeah.
It took Kawhi 5-6 years before he became the man.
Isaiah Thomas.
Or even Isaiah, like these cats that grind it for a minute and now they're getting their shine.
I remember Rick Ross said something in relation to a response to 50 Cent. He said, listen, he said, I don't mind selling 100,000 or something like that, or 1 million 10 times.
Jeezy said that. Jeezy said it first.
Okay.
Jeezy said, I'd rather go platinum 10 times and sell 10 million my first record.
Yeah, exactly. Because after there, like, that fan base,
no way to go but down.
Yeah.
I like consistency. I would rather be Jay-Z, T.I. than a 50. And I'm not knocking for 50's dope. 50's has been consistent throughout his career. But I'm talking about you come out and you sell that 10 million the first time out the gate and you the biggest shit in the world, it's nowhere to go but down.
Yep.
You come out and you do a Reasonable Doubt. Then you give me an In My Lifetime.
Yep.
Then you give me a In My Lifetime Volume 2. Then you give me In My Lifetime Volume 3. Then you give me a Blueprint. Like, you're building. Like, your foundation is so solid. Like, nobody can ever knock you because your foundation is so solid. Like, Kevin Hart, can't say shit about Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart put in that work. He put in that work. He got a solid foundation. I would much rather have that solid foundation and slowly bubble, and watch people watch the growth than just come out the gate booming.
You know what it's kind of like? It's the difference between like Snapchat and Amazon. Like Amazon has been building this enterprise for years, starting out selling the shit online. Now they're buying, now they're doing TV stuff. Now they're doing Twitch. They bought up Twitch. Now they're doing all these different platforms where Snapchat popped up super hot. But it just lost $2 billion in the share price or the last
Instagram
quarter.
Instagram just announced they doing filters today, yo.
It's a
took
wrap.
their whole wave.
I don't want to be the new hot shit. I want to be the shit that
You
grows.
don't want to be the meteor that's just so much out there. Now all you can do, you got to land somewhere.
Breakfast Club been on for 7 years. We built the first year, but between all of us individually, we have been building our radio careers. But we built the first year. Second year got a little harder. First year they was about to cancel the Breakfast Club.
Speak on that, because this is something that I talk about with a lot of people when it comes to the Breakfast Club. About and I'd like you to elaborate a little more on this, because you broke this down quickly to me.
Because they wanted those instant results. iHeart put us together. They're like, oh shit, we got 3 of the best radio personalities in the country.
Give us
this
numbers.
shit is gonna be instant impact. But like anything, it takes time to motherfucking grow. So after that first year, when they didn't get those immediate results, they was on some like, did we make the right decision?
Right.
And then motherfucking the legend called Ray J called us. All right. All right. And Ray J called Drifting High. Ray J called, and what's so funny about that, Ray J was our first interview ever, like live in studio. And then he was our first big super viral moment when he called in Wildin' on Fabulous. And so it's just like the internet saved us because it just made everybody start paying attention. And what's so good about that, for that whole first year of the Breakfast Club, we was just consistent, meaning that we would do interviews, put them online. So people would start, damn, they put every interview online, they get viral, whatever. Then when that Ray J shit came, bang, conditioned. Like, oh shit, this shit was everywhere, TMZ and all of that. So for 7 years, we just built. So we're at a level now where you can trust us.
But speak also on the guests. I remember you saying to me one time, like, your interviews were so raw and truthful and honest that initially guests were scared.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, so the guests that wanted to come on went down, but the show became so fucking popular the guests couldn't say no to that shit. So,
absolutely, but that's because
speak on that, though.
Like you said earlier, you gotta focus on 9 months from now. Every day is me, Envy, and Angela. We have to put on the best show. That's it. And once we have a certain cachet with people. People understand, like, it's consistent. We know if they go on the Breakfast Club, we know what we're going to get.
Coca-Cola, man.
That's it. That's
McDonald's.
what you want to be. You want to be that shit that has built a reputation over 7 years. You don't want to be that new hot shit, because it's no way to go but motherfucking down.
No, I agree. And it's the same thing even with guests. Like you said it before too, right? Like if your show is built off guests, like you don't really have a show.
You don't have a show.
That's one thing. Me and Joe, like we're building. Okay, we had the Yachty and we had Wale, and those are the only two. But we're not like, okay, let's find the next guest for the next moment. We're trying to build.
Your complex is like that though.
Well, that's our job to be like, nah, we're not doing that. Like, they've brought like, yo, what about this person? Nah, we ain't doing that. You get me? Like right now, we're focusing on the rapport here, because once this gets to a level, like we're gonna have those. Like you can't have a show built off the Yachty moments or the Wale moments. You gotta have the show just built off great content.
And you can't have moments built off fuck L.A. Reid either. Because
shit was hot.
I'm
When
gonna tell you
he called
why.
him a sexual predator, yo.
Listen,
There's
I
some
love
deep history over there, yo.
I love.
yeah.
I love Joe's.
I mean, deep history with like,
Joe in LA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to
What's
do
the
my
history?
research.
Joe wasn't there when LA was at that
No, the
jam.
funny
Listen, LA was a predator towards Joe.
You think LA tried to fuck Joe?
I think LA might try
LA
to
tried to do
sneak up
Joe
on
the way Joe do Dominican homeless women. What?
That's the thing.
We didn't know.
Hey, that's a jab right there. See, that's where the jab happens, right? So you mean LA's was trying to fuck Joe? Not the LA trying to fuck Joe part, like how Joe does to Dominican homeless women. Now I don't get the mention, I don't get it, but I guarantee Joe gets it, and I guarantee it's a direct jab. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. There's something between them I would not know about. Like, what Dominican homeless bitches did Joe fuck? I don't believe it's Tahiri. Because I believe him and Tahiri was together for like 3, 4, or 5 years. I mean, he proposed to her on live TV. But that's the jab. So that's what I'm saying. Every time we started discussing the show, I hear the jab. So I know there's something there with him. There's something there.
Pump it up was about L.A. Reid.
What?
L.A. Reid was pumping it down, bro.
Listen,
Pump up the penis. Hold on, man.
Joe's this is the thing. I love Joe's take when he talk about LA, but LA says it. He don't fuck with rap like that.
Yeah.
So that's not really a hot take. You know what I mean?
No, Joe's take was that he's spent more money than he's made. Dude, his knowledge about the business is nuanced and very interesting for me. Like, I'm watching.
He's been in it forever.
But what's great about it is he's been in it forever and he doesn't care about his future. That is a beautiful combination. It is.
He's a jihadist.
He's a jihadist.
That motherfucker will run that plane into the building.
Every time you finish your point, Joe basically just goes Allah Akbar and then just yells some shit out.
I've had those moments.
That's funny though.
Even
That's
the LA
funny.
Reid conversation, I was like, yo, I
You
said
can
my
tell the
piece.
difference, man.
But
You
I'm not-
care about your future, bro.
But it's no reason.
wait.
It's not even about caring about the future. It's no reason to say fuck L.A. Reid. You said
but it's so
what does fuck
entertaining,
L.A. Reid mean,
bro? It's so
unless you got some
entertaining.
inside information.
Hey, you see, and I like to pause there to highlight that fact, right? You see on the show, if I went on there just saying anything, like even somebody said Safari dissed me on Instagram, maybe he did, but I really think Safari's music is whack. I've been giving him a chance for a long time, and for the last couple months, I've been saying his music is whack. Now, that is gonna be the thing that people like to hear. Yo, he called it whack. That nigga. But you can't feel extreme about everything. There's some things you're like, it's cool. Not for me. But not everyone you're like, fuck this nigga, or this nigga, he's a rapist. Like, that's not, at least me being true in what I really think, it's not like that. You feel me? But you see, people when they watch, you heard what Andrew said? He said, but it's so entertaining. But yeah, it is fucking entertaining. That's why, and that's what I'm saying, fans sometimes leading you down to your demise. Right now, everybody's perceiving Joe as a jealous, bitter hater of all new niggas. He's not even that on a real level. He's not that. Now, when you see him on camera, because you saw that moment, you expect it, right? So again, you if he continues to just give those moments, because those are easy to get, him blacking out about a new artist or whatever, and most of the time you realize, and that's been my thing, he don't even genuinely feel that way because he don't know these niggas, like, or he hasn't even heard their music. Like Playboy Cardi, like the other day we were playing the song, so every time it's like a new song, I'll play it. I'm like, yo, this is the ASAP joint. And there was another one, and Playboy Cardi was the hook. Like, he's vibing to the song, and he said, who is this guy? I'm like, that's Playboy Cardi. You get me? So, he's like, oh. You get me? So, a lot of times what y'all want him to shit on Playboy Cardi or just, like, say, nah, like, I think at a certain point, you can't just do it consistently. You get me? So, that's why when people be like, yo, Joe, like, he helps the show so much by saying this or saying that. Yeah, it's cool, but after a while, you're either gonna, like, if you come on and say fuck everybody, first of all, you're gonna create problems that you don't even care about. Like, Yachty came, you see, in reality, Joe didn't have an issue with Yachty, but he said, man, fuck Yachty. Yachty ruined hip-hop, right? Yachty came in there with the energy. Now, y'all might have seen the energy reflected with Joe, but Yachty came in there with an energy. QC was in there with an energy. I remember I said it right before we started taping. I said, whoa. I said, the energy in here is a little tense. So I start giggling because I'm like, yo, like, I know, I'm just glad it's not me this time, right? Of course, the Wale one was me, right? But I'm like, the funny thing is, Joe don't really care about it like that. You know what I mean? Like, I mentioned the Peekaboo joint a couple of times. I think it's on the vlog. And he's like, man, don't mention no song called no fucking Peekaboo. Right? But that's not what he really feels about it. But for y'all fans, y'all like hearing that. Y'all don't want to, like me, I'm going to give you my honest opinion. Y'all just want to hear somebody say, man, fuck that nigga. I've always said a show can't last with that, because you're going to start beefs that you don't want to really be in. Right? Now you have, like, the L.A. Reid thing for him is real. Trust me. The L.A. thing for him is real. Right? When he dismissed Yachty at first, I know, like, it's just, I'm mentioning somebody who he's unfamiliar with. And because he likes to operate in a place of familiarity, when I'm mentioning Yachty, he's like, man, fuck that nigga, man. Or, damn, that nigga's ruining hip-hop. But that's not exactly what it is. All right. Let's keep playing.
You're not telling us.
Now, both of y'all are...
All right, hold on. Let me, sorry.
Right. Like, for me, I'm not gonna say more than what's necessary to say, just that someone could feel like, oh shit, he's turning up.
He's the realest nigga.
But for you,
It
right?
sounds
He
real.
said fuck L.A. Reid.
But-
That's
shit,
I'm
work
gonna
on
say
me.
fuck Babyface.
When somebody hears a statement like, yo, L.A. Reid is a sexual predator.
Man,
that is the title.
Fire.
Nothing else what you say matters. You get me?
Yeah.
Now again, I had the Kanye moment. Remember when Kanye was with I can't remember the dude's name, and Kanye was like, yo, George Bush don't care about black people. Because when he said, I was like, whoa. I was like, where'd that come from?
By the way, Joe Budden, I know you on the internet. You can still get sued. If LA wants to motherfucking sue you for saying you called me a sexual predator, you can still be held liable for that.
I told him that.
You're out of your goddamn mind.
The
I tried to
longest
throw the
disclaimer.
allegedly in there, though. I tried
That's
to
the
say,
greatest word.
I tried to throw the allegedly.
That word protects you from everything. Allegedly.
Yo, I tried to throw
According to what we're being told in these court papers, L.A. Reid's a sexual
I
predator.
tried to throw
Allegedly.
The crazy thing, I tried to throw an allegedly. He said, "Fuck allegedly." I'm like, all right, he is. Then. Fuck it.
Wow.
Yeah, no, but
raw
I mean,
dogging.
that's one of those, and that's why, like, even with the show, right? Like, they now have it edited where you can see what we're talking about. The first week, because I didn't know there was something there. Like, there's things there that, again, I'm naive to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the first week we told my Future one day. It was like, it was Future top tier artist. So I give my pitch on why I think he is not, right? But he's definitely second tier. But if we're considering a whole different genre
Future
of
top
rap,
10?
top tier. I said if we consider, remove all these lyricist niggas, he's top tier.
Yes, I agree.
So we start having that conversation. I gave my take. Joe takes over, and he says, "Forget about Future, L.A. Reid." And I'm sitting there. That's before, like, you can see what we're talking about. And I remember people like, "Yo, you look hella dumb when we were talking." I'm like, I didn't know. Like, I'm getting information just like y'all right now. I didn't know there was an L.A. Reid thing there. But I don't know. I think there might be some type of thing with. I think L.A. Reid might have been responsible for people or rappers
I like
Joe.
Schultz's take. L.A. Reid might have fucking tried to get at Joe. L.A. trying to fuck you, Joe.
We
What's
need
the
to
problem?
bring Joe on and L.A. on and have a nice.
There
little,
you go. Now, see, if I ever saw
debate.
them in a room together, I'd be like, all right, who tried to fuck who?
Yo, bro, what if he walked into the room and then Joe's just huddled in the corner? Like, not again.
Well, no, that might be the thing. Joe might have some inside information that we don't know.
Well, and that's why.
But I feel like Joe would have shared.
Maybe
he's so comfortable sharing things that could potentially hurt him. And I'll be honest, that is what's so attractive about it for me. I'm watching the show and this guy, and I feel like you caring about your career is almost holding you back in the show because Joe is so unfiltered and so brutally honest.
Hey, bad advice right there. You see that? I told y'all what I think is good advice. That's bad advice. I'm not going on motherfucking. First of all, Complex puts a disclaimer for a fucking reason. We ain't liable for anything Akademiks says or Joe. If you get sued, nigga, you getting that YouTube money, nigga, pay it or some shit. You get me? Like, basically, you're responsible for your own shit. I'm not going on Complex's fucking platform thinking I need to match Joe in shit he says. If he says L.A. Reid's a sexual predator, what do you want? What should I say? Birdman is a fucking child molester. You get me? Now I make my Sandusky joke, but I'm not saying anything just to say shit just to get people to say, "Oh shit, Akademiks went in." No way. I ain't saying that. No way. Shit, if I wouldn't say it on my YouTube channel, I'm more raw on my YouTube channel. If I wouldn't say it on my YouTube channel, I ain't saying it there. You get me? Like, I'm not gonna just say shit just to say it. So when I hear even Andrew's advice, like, yo, you know what I mean? You gotta get. It's not unfiltered. It's just saying shit trying to match up with someone else. I kept it real. Like when we talked about Safari today, that nigga make white music, yo. I just don't see how he wrote for Nicki. I'm listening to the music, shit don't match up. You get me? That's me being brutally honest. But if I'm gonna just say some wild shit just to get like a fucking nice viral clip or something like that, no way. Because at the end of the day, Complex is just counting and thumbing through the checks while I'm dealing with the problems. Fuck out of here, nigga. Right? Like you get you got a nice viral episode. They thumbing through the checks like, damn, this shit, man. Yo, Everyday Struggle is a great fucking. All the executives, high five. By the way, I met Mark Echo yesterday. Right? High five. We did it. While I'm saying the shit, getting me fucked up, right? Niggas seeing me in the streets. I'm running for my life. They try to, well, not that I don't think blackball really exists for somebody like me because I've done my own shit. But now I'm ruining relationships over shit I don't care about, right? Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna say what I mean. I'm gonna always say what I genuinely feel. And I'm not gonna hype it up to make it sound a certain type. That ain't never gonna be me. Sorry.
And not giving a fuck.
If it's not you, I tell you academics all the time, if it's not you, don't do it.
Yo, it's not caring about your career. It's just being volatile to the point, right? Like what you're talking about is not wanting to be volatile to the point you're saying stuff you may not want to completely back up. You get me? Everything.
I think Joe will stand behind. Look, and I can't speak it to.
By the way, and I'm only basing this off one or two things.
Sure.
Whenever Joe's confronted, he kind of backtracks a little bit.
Interesting.
He didn't really stick to Yachty the way he was sticking. His energy changed a little bit when Yachty was actually in the room.
Yeah, I mean, I told him that though. I was like, yo,
I felt that way too.
Well, no. Actually, his energy went up. But here's the thing. To speak to what he actually said, right? Because the conversation we had when we brought up Yachty.
I don't remember him telling Yachty was trashing his face.
No. He said Yachty's ruining hip hop, right? Now, that's a very big statement. And also, he said some label stuff, right? But Yachty's ruining hip-hop. That wasn't really the conversation had, right? Like, It wasn't like I'm defending the stance that you're ruining hip-hop.
Yeah.
Right? So, I think the conversation went elsewhere. But again, I looked at that saying, if I'm going to say you're ruining hip-hop, or if I'm going to say whatever about whoever, if they come up here, I'm going to have to defend why do I think you're ruining hip hop? Now, even the Wale thing, even fine. I didn't.
Your energy wasn't the same either with Wale.
What do you mean?
Your energy shifted a little bit.
In terms of what though?
In terms of like, you just weren't telling him like, yo, Wale.
I told him he flopped right to his face.
No, but you didn't say like people think you're corny. That's the perception of you.
I told him exactly that. And you know what he said? He said, people like you, which was so ridiculous. He said,
you're right.
He says, you don't even have. Yeah. Nah, truth be told. No, truth be told. Nah, truth be told.
I only saw a couple clips. I didn't watch the whole 47 minutes. It was 47 minutes. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Nah, truth be told. Yo, he said, people like you don't even have the.
Yo,
you're not qualified.
In my imagination, you did not say that thing to him. The way I imagined this.
That's showing me this game. You ain't watched the whole Wale joint.
Hypothetical
situation. I did watch the whole Yachty one.
No,
I didn't watch the whole Wale one.
Wale said to me after I told him that, right?
He said people like you can't say I'm corny, and then
not even that. Not even that. He said people like you are not even qualified to read those comments about me. so I was like, what?
That didn't make any sense.
I gotta credit you.
Let me say this about Wale.
Go.
This is the problem with Wale. There is no problem with Wale. Wale is the same thing I talked about with Bow Wow earlier. It's just accept where you're at, bro. Wale has had #1 records. Wale's got gold plaques. He's got platinum plaques. He's got sold out shows. Accept where you are.
But
you don't have to be Drake.
Like you don't have,
but that's fine.
Listen,
but you don't have to be Drake. You don't have to be Kendrick. You don't have to be J. Cole. I say it all the time. Until you appreciate where you are, you won't get blessed with more. So Wale needs to appreciate where he is, and then he'll possibly get blessed with more. But also, like you just said, stop comparing your success to other people. Success is subjective. Wale is successful when it comes to being a rapper. He's successful.
What I believe is fucking him up in his mind, though, is that when you believe your talent is of a certain level, and you might think it's on par with, or maybe even surpassing those who are receiving more accolades than you, right? It's a natural thing. It's just that for me, you always got to internalize some things ain't for you.
How about this? How about Wale just simply don't have the hype beast, dick riding fans that a lot of these other people got, where they can just fart on records and motherfuckers like, oh, this is the greatest shit ever.
Well,
Drake has those, Kendrick has those,
I told him the same
Cole
thing.
has
Real
those.
quick, he doesn't have the exact same thing. He doesn't have the personality.
Hey, didn't I tell Wale the same thing? That's how I know Charmaine listened to that interview. But did not tell Wale the exact same thing. And it's so funny because everything he says he's cool with Wale. Like he said earlier that him and Wale talked recently, whatever. Everything Charlamagne said, I said about Wale, but Wale was bent out of fucking shape. Didn't I say? I told y'all that. I said to Wale when he was sitting there, I said, yo, you had hit me a couple years ago about why I don't post your snippets. And truth be told, I'm one person. There's never been a Wale fan that's hit me to put your shit up. They ain't like your fans ain't hit me about it. And it was like, well, maybe my fans don't want corny niggas like you to put my shit up. You see how dumb that is? That's what Wale said. Well, maybe my fans don't want corny niggas to put my stuff up. All right, nigga, well, that's why you fly. Right?
Reality for it. And I think something is very important to note here. When people are unappreciative, that's ugly. And Wale looks unappreciative. Like Wale's living.
Because you're shitting on your fans.
There it is. Like
when you act like this isn't enough. You're shitting on the fans you already have when you act like this isn't enough.
He's living some people's dream.
Yes,
Wale's living some people's dream. Like there's some SoundCloud rappers that would love
to be popping like Wale.
To be popping like Wale, and to see him be bitter and upset about that. Like, instead of being humble and gracious and appreciative of the 25,000 whoever, or appreciative of the fact that he gets to do sold-out shows and motherfuckers fuck with him, instead of being appreciative of that, appreciation draws people to. This motherfucker wakes up every single day, and I gotta read this annoying-ass tweet, thank you, God, for another day of life.
That's it.
But there's some shit about, on some level, you know what I mean? There is some shit about that, which is like, no matter how much of an asshole this dude, he's just thankful for the day.
I'm happy. A statement that was said, and I remember when Joe said, I'm like, yo, you're, because I think him and Wale, they speak a good amount. I was like, yo, you're speaking for Wale. Like, I think even Wale kind of co-signed it when he was there. He said, yo, like, I got a record like Fine Girls, or he had another joint, I think it's called My Love. He said, yo, if Drake had done this, y'all would have been fucking with it. And I'm like, listen, you ain't Drake.
You don't have that personality.
That's not Drake. And that,
by the way, I like Wale's
artist,
personality better than Drake.
That hurts an artist, though, because when you feel like if somebody else would have done it and they would have got ultimate more success than you, it hurts you. Like, and
this is my thing.
You also
it's how
know
he mediates
Wale's personality more than most people. I feel like I feel
Wale
like
be
most
texting
people.
fat girls too?
I talk to Wale. Listen,
they're friends and
Wale
shit.
is the ultimate heel. That's how, and I tell him that, embrace that. You love wrestling, right? You're the heel. You can be the nature boy Ric Flair. People forget Ric Flair was a bad guy.
No way.
You know what I'm saying?
No way. Wale isn't a bad guy. I just think a lot of people just
He's
don't
a bad guy in the industry.
No, Nick. Well, I'm talking about fans. People just don't consider him with these other rappers.
Did you say all of this to Wale?
Yeah.
I gotta watch this interview and make sure this same
Y'all
hit me up on the SoundCloud right now and tell me if Akademiks energy is matching up.
Hey, didn't I say the exact same thing to Wale, though? I definitely said... The only thing is, when a nigga comes in there to try to tell me how rich he is or how cool he is or how uncool I am, I'm never going to be the nigga who you're going to get bent out of shape because you tell me I didn't fuck as much bitches as you. No. You're not... We're not on a bitches fucking contest. We're not on a money contest. We're usually here because we're talking about your music. If you then also want to say, well, you can't say because I'm not cool enough, that's just you distracting from the actual point. We're talking your music and we trying to figure out why you flop, nigga. That's basically it. Trying to figure it out.
There was a disconnect with his fans, and I was trying to figure out why, because I said that's the only way. You see people like Logic who don't got a hit. You ever heard of... Yeah. How would if I ever played a Logic? But his fan base connects with him.
You're too young to have such a prehistoric way of thinking. Like, that's not how this game works anymore. You don't have to have a single.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
You don't have to have a hit.
No, wait. I didn't say that's my thinking. What I'm saying is that when you look at Logic, that's someone who connects with his fan base. When I see Wale, who's, if we're thinking about this as in business, he's losing market share. Like, he sold 160, he sold 80, he sold 25. Nigga, you're going down to zero. Right? So you're losing market share.
Did you say that to him?
I mean, I'm explaining to you.
That was to see how that energy was different. Nigga, you're going down to zero.
Going down to zero is fire.
That's a viral moment if you said that to Wale.
Bro. No. However, what I'm saying is that I'm just looking at the sale. I'm saying there's a disconnect with the fans.
That's true, but take what he just said. Consider that shit, because that is a fire statement right there.
Yeah.
Because you could literally look at Wale and be like, what do you think the next album's going to sell, dog? I'm going to read off the list.
No. However, he's deflecting the whole time, saying, I don't really care about sales. I just love my fans. My fans love it. Who cares about it? Which is funny. Like, no, like he was mad about us commenting on the sales. And when we get there, he say, sales don't matter. My fans love it. I go to my shows and girls are dancing to my songs and it's the best album I ever performed. And I'm like, all right, so you're basically telling me you're fine with the numbers, which the only thing I agree with you, I could have said and should have said to him is that, yo, dog, you were hitting everybody. You even hit me privately because you were upset about us commenting on your sales. You felt like that was kicking you while you were down.
Yeah.
So he came on the show not saying, oh, it's not a success. He said he doesn't mind the numbers because it connected with his fans.
Now, explain this Logic shit to me. Because I'm trying to figure out how Logic is connecting with fans. Does he do shows? Is it social media? Like, what is it that makes 250,000 people go buy Logic shit?
It's his message. Like, well, if you're not biracial or white, you might not be getting this message because, like, he's playing on both sides of the fence. He's Black Lives Matter. He has a reversible shirt. Okay. Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. It just depends on what day and where he's at. You feel me? So he's also repping for a struggle that a lot of people don't identify with.
He cannot survive wearing an all lives matter shirt. There's no
way he got
no, nobody can survive.
But what I mean that, like, he's kind of highlighting the struggle of being biracial. Like, he looks white.
It's a biracial struggle.
Well, if you listen to Logic's album,
what the fuck?
If you listen to Logic's album, and the whole thing is even based around where, like, he has this moment where he's talking to God, and basically it's showing that, or his concept was that we've lived as every other race and every other person. Like, a point God says to him, like, yo, last time you were here in life, you were Asian. You were an Asian woman. So it's kind of saying that that's
all illogical logic. I don't even know where the fuck you get that from.
You know what? I got a point to make about Logic, though. Logic is a biracial dude that looks like a white guy, right? We acknowledge he looks completely white.
That's the struggle.
Now, there is a real struggle to that because it's kind of like being a gay dude that's just straight.
What do you mean by that?
Because racists act racist around you and don't even know that you're black. So he got to enter every situation, and you might have a motherfucker like, yeah, these lazy-ass black people doing this, that, and then he goes, yo, I'm half black. What the fuck?
By the way, Logic can. First of all, you can only have a biracial struggle if you look white.
Exactly.
Because Drake can't do this.
A black struggle.
J. Cole can't do it, and they're both biracial.
Yeah, but they're black.
Barack can't even do it.
Yo, summing up his struggle, he said, listen, imagine being the guy who's half black, half white. I get called the N-word, but I'm not allowed to even say it.
Don't nobody call you no nigga Logic.
Well, that's according to him. That's the struggle.
That should be your next album, Nigga Logic.
Hey, that's the struggle.
Nigga Logic is when you blow into a Nintendo game.
However, the crazy thing
Nigga
is,
Logic, I'm gonna bring my gun to this place, okay, if I'm going, all right? That's
I want to take part in this hashtag so bad, but I can't.
That's really the struggle, though, right? So for him, the struggle is, and I didn't know that many people connected with that struggle. Because I don't know, what other struggles are there? Could I get a fat struggle going on? Like, yo, the overweight struggle?
Okay, let's talk about it. Listen, Akademiks.
What's up, man?
You gotta lose weight, bro. You gotta lose at least 30.
30 what?
Pounds!
Golly, 30 pounds.
Akademiks looks so chunky on Everyday Struggle, man.
Yo, you're right, though. You're right. Because I be watching back, I'm like, I don't even want to watch it back sometimes.
Listen, I had to do two things. I had to watch it, I'm like, okay, is Joe just overpowering my guy? Then I had to watch again, like, I'm just distracted by his chunkiness. He's getting his points off.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, your face looks round.
Hey, it does.
That is true.
I'm not.
It's rounder. But you really think that it's important for him to lose weight?
Yes.
Interesting.
If you're going to be in front of the camera like that, because everything else you do, the viral video.
Hey, this is a funny portion, but it's again, and this is why I'm gonna tell y'all, like, this is how you when you know somebody, you understand their bluntness. And also you understand their humor, and you realize there's good and honest advice in that. Not because somebody's not, like, babying you or they say something you might not like, means they're dissing you in your face. This is good advice he's actually giving.
Videos is just your voice.
Yeah.
If you're going to be in front of the camera like that, you got to lose 30. Unless you're going to own it.
Nah, I can't only like Ross. Come out with the belly out.
You might have
come out with the belly out, rubbing the areolas.
Yeah,
I can't do that. I can't.
Yeah.
Ross owned this too well. Nah.
Follow that format. You can't be in between. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Have you gotten comments? Have people been commenting like, yeah, you fat act?
Yeah, no, of course, yeah. I'm working out and shit like that, but you know what I mean?
You working out now?
Yeah, nigga.
You can't work out and eat Jamaican food at the same time. You can't fucking eat the rice and beans.
Wait, you trying to say there's no healthy Jamaican food?
No.
Maybe not oxtail.
Yo, I've heard that, yo.
What about the...
Hey, I've heard that, yo. Is there healthy Jamaican food? I need. Well, if you're not Jamaican, I don't even know if I got many Jamaican. Are there healthy Jamaican options? Actually, there's a Jamaican restaurant I used to go to. I gotta ask them because it's like little Jamaica. So I'm gonna have to ask them, like, I need healthy Jamaican options. Because the shit I be ordering, I know that shit ain't healthy.
Oxtail's probably good for you though.
No,
it's
red meat like takes long to digest.
Are you more conscious about your appearance, man?
Yeah, absolutely though. Like, I mean, being on the show, which that's one of the things that the show got me to be aware of more. Because, like, low-key, I was telling people, right, like, when I do my videos and shit, like, I record a place right by my crib, right? Like, yo, sometimes I'll be in my boxes recording. Like, I don't give a fuck what's going on just because it's all about what I'm saying, right? Like, people are focusing on what I'm actually saying and the points and exactly what I'm talking about. Now, like, they'll get distracted by my cheeks. They'll get distracted, like, yo, is that a man boob? Like, yo, what's going on?
Cheeks, man. I'm telling you.
Yo, and weight goes to my cheeks real quick.
A lot of water weight.
I don't even know.
Just lose the weight, man. I'm telling you.
It might be some curry goat, man. I don't know, man.
Just lose the goddamn weight. I'm saying those are the two things that distract me. I'm like, because people, you know why? Because you're critiquing people.
He's telling you shit he went through. I remember when he started getting in shape, and I'll tell you why I remember. This motherfucker came in 1 week. Remember, he came in 1 week. He said this. Let me tell you. He comes in 1 week. And he goes, man, I'm not gonna lie. I'm killing it out here, bro. I go, what are you talking about? You good out here? He's like, listen, you're not fucking with my abs, bro. I'm like, what are you talking about, Charlamagne? What are you talking about? He goes, nah, bro, I'm ready for this summer, bro. I'm gonna take. I was like, are you really getting me to ask you to see your fucking abs? He goes, you not competing with me on this shit. I knew he was getting in shape because he started making fun of Wax and how fat Wax got. He never made fun of Wax's weight until he got in shape. So that's his shit.
No, it's the truth, though. Like,
I don't know, what was the trigger point for you, though?
I mean, I just wanted to get in shape, number one. But number two, you got to take away people's powers.
Yeah.
Like, your critique of people, like, how can such and such say this when he look like this and that? Like, just take it away. Now I'm in shape. Now what? What you gonna say? Oh, he bleaches his skin now. Okay, that's the best you got. You still gonna pay attention to what the fuck I got to say. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And plus, if you're gonna be interviewing artists, man, I'm telling you, man, you're gonna get into a snap session with somebody, and they're gonna bring up them thighs and cheeks, and that's not what you want. I'm serious. That's not what you want.
I agree.
Like, that's not what you want.
Now, it sounds funny, but it's coming from a truthful place. Like, I mean, like, being on camera for you, right? Like, you've cognizantly seen stuff that you'd be like, nah, if I could fix that or change, I'm gonna do it.
Absolutely.
Right? So I mean, even now, like, when you force this, I was telling people, I'm like, when you're forced to see yourself on camera, and I don't know, I feel like the camera be adding pounds, but maybe not. Maybe my mirror on, maybe I got one of them fitting room mirrors. But, like, when you see that constantly, now you actually adjust your lifestyle.
I wish I did that shit, man. I look translucent on fucking camera, and I never go in the sun at all, dude. It is awful. Sometimes I look at myself on camera, I'm like, I look like one of them fish at the bottom of the sea. You ever see Planet Earth? And you know the fish where you can see right through to their skeleton? Yeah. That's how I feel on television sometimes. But I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. White privilege.
Let's put a button on. Let's put a button on logic, though. I don't think I give a fuck about the biracial struggle, bro.
There's a lot of people that do, though.
Like, not enough to listen, because I don't know what that is.
Hey, you got to articulate it better. I think what I was trying to say about the gay shit is, like, when you're a straight seeming gay dude, they don't know. People don't know that you're gay, so they they'll just be hanging out, and someone might say the word faggot, or they might say whatever, and now you got to deal with the fact that every interaction you got to come out of the closet. So on a weird level, Logic got to come out of the black closet every single time he meets somebody so that they don't say some wild racist shit and he has to check them.
I would personally rather hear the biracial struggle from a J. Cole or Drake because they're black and they got white mothers. So imagine what they got to deal with. Because imagine you get pulled over by a white person, like a cop, and the cops harassing you and shit, and you got uncles and aunts that are actually white, your grandmother's white. Like, I would rather hear, like, how that's got to be a fucking conflict.
Self-hate, because you're hating these white people that are oppressing you, but you're half white, your mommy's white.
Yes.
That shit to me, exactly.
Ooh, and if you got you got black friends like all of these guys have, Drake and Cole, and you're hearing them talk about the oppression and the marginalization, and you're like, well, all white people ain't like that, bro. Like, because you know firsthand, because you got a white mom and white family members.
But right now, niggas ain't trying to hear that.
But that's why it's a better struggle.
That's why it's intriguing.
It's intriguing, but I don't think niggas want to hear nobody rap about, listen, I'm half white, they ain't all that bad. Right now, it's like slander white people a million miles per hour.
I think it's a better conflict.
Fuck what people want to hear. That's another thing that's important, right? You can't get caught up in the comments. And this comes from someone who gets a lot of shitty comments. Mm-hmm. People sometimes don't know what they like. You know what I mean? Like, there are tons of people that might shit on Charlamagne on The Breakfast, go, oh, this guy's an asshole, this, that, whatever. But they're tuning in for that. Yeah. Like with Howard Stern, the people that liked him listened for 2 hours. People that didn't like Howard Stern listened for 4 hours. Twice the amount of time. So don't get caught up.
Powerful.
That's power, bro. Mayweather, I always say this. People pay the same price of admission to hate you or to see you win.
Yeah.
Same price for the ticket.
Yeah,
so
that's why, like, with me in comments, like, I know I got a core fan base that they really genuinely support me, but people who, like, either critique me or dislike me, I don't mind. Like, I've kind of, at first it used to bother me. I used to, like, go back and forth on Twitter with people and block people. Now, like, as long as I see this conversation happening, I'll read it. Sometimes I won't engage just because people will say stuff just for the reaction. Absolutely. And they don't want to talk.
I don't give a shit. You see me call somebody a digital dickhead, it's because I want to. Like, they're not getting to me at all. I just like the interaction. I feel like that's what social media is about. Like, I can never get to that point where I'm just that guy who's tweeting and Instagramming and not responding to people. Like, people tell me that shit all the time. You're a New York Times bestseller. Stop going back and forth with people on fucking Instagram. Fuck that.
Well, let me stop going back and forth. You have to do a little bit of each, though. You got to learn what to ignore.
Know when.
You can't seem too sensitive, but you want to seem engaged.
Oh, by the way, I can tell. Last week we talked about when I met Michelle Obama and what she told me.
Yeah, what did she tell you?
I talked about it on Angie Martinez show last week. She said that She said, "Oh, Charlamagne." She goes, "You're so funny," and she goes, "But you're smart." And she goes, "Most funny people are smart." And I really didn't even know how to react. I was just like, I said, really? And then I guess she called me funny first, and I go, really? And then that's when she said the whole "you're smart and funny" thing. And I was like, look, I'm just trying to figure out what to call you, man. I don't know whether to call you First Lady, Queen. She was like, Michelle. I said, there's no way I'm calling you Michelle. I said, I'm just not doing it.
What'd you guys settle on?
She goes, just don't call me the B word. I said, who in the hell would ever call you the B word? And she goes, oh, there's some people out there. And I go, I bet you they're all Trump supporters. And then I shook her hand and kept it moving. And it's like that's all it was.
And that's dope. I was actually telling Charlamagne last time we talked, I was like, yo, one of the dope things, because I watched Charlamagne's career, he knows, like, I study people who I believe are great. And I've never been ashamed to say it. Like, I see what they do well, and I'll take a little bit of them from me. It's like Kobe. When Kobe was watching Mike, he took a little bit of him, right? Sure. So, like, I see where Charlamagne's at now, and I complimented on him. It's like we're watching someone who's a really dope hip-hop radio personality grow and age gracefully, not age and still try to hang on to be the bitter guy.
Not dyeing my beard like Joe Budden.
No, Joe's got the grays coming out. Only
he's letting the gray come out?
Flex dyes a beard, but not Joe. Yeah.
Just want you to know we had our foot on Joe Budden's neck this whole podcast. Right? Run tell that. I'm just fucking with you.
Yo, what? Wait, no. Okay. What is it? And by the way,
I'm just fucking with Joe. I'm actually just
according to the pool. Y'all had a pool that it said
6 months,
2 months.
I'm gonna put 100 on it. I think it's gonna last. It's gonna last more than 6 months, man. I think
it might, but not with Joe Budden. It might be the everyday struggle, Akademiks, and fucking somebody else.
Logic.
Yo, I think Joe has found the platform of magnitude that he wanted. So I can't see him leaving, but you never know.
Listen,
never know. It was interesting to hear.
It's undeniable, at least in my opinion, that he's great at what he does there. I really enjoy it. Mm-hmm. I think he's excellent at what he does there. That's not the case. He won't leave because he's too good. That won't be the issue. He'll leave because of some internal struggle that will come to the surface. That's all I'm saying. And I hope it doesn't. I remember when we said this bet, the goal was to inspire it not to happen. I even tweeted him. I was like, I don't think it's going to last more than 2 months. I hope you prove me wrong, Joe, because I'm enjoying the content. Mm-hmm. Content is great. You got to keep going, man.
I love it. But I just think Joe Budden is self-destructive in a lot of ways. To be totally honest.
So we hoping that you
Well,
don't, Joe.
if we talk about his past, I get it. But there's something between you and Joe, man. I don't know what it is. You know why I'm saying that?
It's funny. The first time I met Joe Budden,
was at a Sandals resort in Dominican Republic.
No, Joe.
All-inclusive resort.
Joe's grandparents are from Sumter, South Carolina. So Joe would come on my show like way back in the day in Columbia. I actually enjoy sparring with Joe on a banter level.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like that's all it really is. Like it's nothing more past that. Like I like the friendly competition or even not so friendly competition between Joe. I like having conversations with Joe Budden. I genuinely do.
Let me ask you a question. So you had said, and I heard on the podcast, you said eventually, because as Schultz has acknowledged, right? Joe kind of says shit like he don't give a fuck about a future, right?
Yeah.
But you had said like he's going to get more PC. Right?
Yeah, because eventually, it's a lot of things that's going to happen. Number one, you have to start confronting these people that you talk about more and more. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's number one. So that's when you really realize, does this really mean a lot to me? It's one thing to rant and rave and yell and say these things when nobody's around, but when they actually are in your face, are you going to do that? And number two, you might OD on that. Like, you might get in front of somebody and try to wild out so hard that you come off looking like the madman. Imagine Joe interview L.A. Reid right now.
You're a sexual predator.
You're a sexual predater. Fuck you, L.A. Reid. You tried to fuck me for a new Def Jam deal. And you tried to fuck Caitlyn and Tahiri. You offered all of us a threesome. Like, that shit can get stupid.
And the other question is, do you see, because I've seen comments about it, I said, I don't know what's going on with Charlamagne and Joe. That's whatever between them. I don't know their history that much. Is there competition there, even just on a personality level? Like,
no, I mean, if it's competition, it's competition that I created in my mind. Because like I said, I love when the league is popping. Yeah. I love when it's more than one player.
Not
in
like
the
LeBron,
league.
you like to compete.
I love it, man, and honestly, we needed that. Tax ain't around no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need that energy. That's the type of shit that keep me sharp. Like, I listen to you. I listen to Kid Fury.
Yep.
When Tax was home, I listened to Tax. I watch Budden. I like good shit. I like people that keep me sharp, that make me be like, okay, all right, I see what's going on out here. I like when the playing field has more than one player. Because truth be told, I don't get no inspiration from these radio motherfuckers.
Yep.
None.
Yep.
Like I get more inspiration from the white radio personalities, the Bobby Bones, the Elvis Duran. There's nobody black that makes me be like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So all my energy comes from the podcast, the online radio personalities. To me, that's where the best content is. So I love it when the game is out there. So yeah, I don't know. Like naturally, I'm like that. Especially if you in my timeline telling me like, oh, Joe Budden gonna take your spot and this and that. Oh, word? Okay, let's do it then. I like that kind of shit. That's dope to me. Let me show y'all who really been out here consistently for the past.
We're an hour and 42 into it, if you're asking. So we're an hour and 42 into it. There's like 20 minutes left.
19 years in radio. Let's think about this. I've been doing radio for 19 years.
Yeah.
That is true.
So before Breakfast Club, I was doing radio for 12 years. I was making noise in South Carolina.
Yeah.
So now, for the past 7 years, I've been consistent. That's why it's a reason whenever something bubbles up, they automatically start pitting me against it.
Of course.
No matter what it is, who it is, automatically versus Charlamagne.
Sure.
So I like that.
You're the litmus test.
Hey, I like that.
So who's leading the league in the amount of Dominicans taken down? You or him?
Definitely.
Who got more Dominicans on?
Definitely Joe. It's not even close. Nah, definitely Joe. Definitely Joe.
He's married man.
Oh, okay.
This guy would never
respect the ring.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have the patience for Dominican women.
He would never have a small one-bedroom apartment in Washington Heights that he goes to after the radio show on time and time again.
Like you dry snitching, Andrew.
But no, I mean, I respect the game.
Yeah.
We need more players in the game. That's why I always say I like to throw more assists than I do score points.
Yeah.
If I see somebody that's a dope talent, yo, tell them come. Like, yo, what's up? When the first time you heard Tax on?
Right here.
The Brilliant Idiots podcast.
Sure.
Like, I like that kind of shit. Like, I like that. We just need more players. That's it.
I mean, it's capitalism, right? It's like, that's what people always say. They're like, oh, there's all these podcasts coming out now. You worried? And it's like, that makes us better.
It makes it better.
Let them come out. Let them do
and also builds the audience. The same with Spotify. Spotify,
Absolutely.
they were doing great. They had about 12 million to 15 million listeners. Then we had Apple Music come in the game. We had Tidal come in the game. What they did not only create competition, but they brought other people in. Now Spotify is still at the top. Now they got 40 million. Yeah. So they expanded the market, and they still got the majority of the market share.
You're describing why capitalism works and communism doesn't. When there's one business, there's no fire for competition. There's no fire to make it better because, when there's one restaurant in town, motherfuckers come and eat there. There's nowhere else to go eat. But when there's 10 restaurants, well, shit, I got to offer silverware. Shit, I got to offer napkins. Shit, I got to offer dessert. Same thing with podcasts. We're out here with the full video setup, audio setup. Now we're looking into studio space. We're upping our game because we have to compete. And so you got to be grateful.
And that is the key. Like Combat Jack always says, raise the bar. It is all about upping the game because I liken it to like LeBron been dominating the league for a while. Last year, Steph Curry had a red hot year. 73-9, this and that. Oh, he's the darling of the league, whatever.
New MJ, almost.
Oh, word? How you think that made LeBron feel?
He made him feel good enough to come back down 3-1.
That's what I'm trying to say. So it makes everybody better. Everybody rises. And I guess what? This year, Steph is like, I got to prove I belong here.
So he's coming hard.
Now, exactly. Steph is like, I got to prove I belong here. And LeBron's trying to prove like, no, it's still mine. And if you want it, you got to motherfucking take it.
You got to take it.
So everybody gets better. Everybody gets sharper. Kevin Durant was like, I can't do it over here with these motherfuckers. I got to go over here with these guys that I feel like they're going to make me up my game. And by the way, Kevin Durant is probably going to have the best fucking series of the fucking finals.
He's had the most efficient year of his career.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's just like, it makes everybody better. The more talent in the league, it makes everybody fucking better.
Yeah, I agree, too. I mean, I think we all got our own lanes. I think the Breakfast Club, they're good for what they do, right?
It's a radio show.
Again, you're right? Even like podcasts. Low-key, when I first heard, I'm like, this is some podcast beef. I ain't into whatever podcast. I know at some point it's just like radio beef every year. You got to renew it something. I'm like, all right, it's podcast beef. It's time for the annual podcast beef. But then the show was getting tossed into some people like, yo, Akademiks, yo, your name is. So I'm like, I like when I hear again, you got to use steel to sharpen steel.
Absolutely.
Right? So, I like it.
I love it. Okay?
I like it.
Now, for everybody out there who didn't hear about DJ Akademiks until Everyday Struggle, I'm sure this is the longest you've ever heard him talk. This is the most you've ever heard him talk. All right? Okay.
Hey, I'm getting my talking time now, man. I've been learning to cut niggas off. I'm so respectful. I know, anytime people cut me off, I would just let them go.
But here's the thing. It's not cutting off. It's about being listened to. And there's a huge difference. When you have an active listener, you feel more confident talking.
Yeah.
Right? But when you have someone who's not listening to you, you lose your confidence in talking. Not you personally. One loses their confidence in talking because it's who the fuck am I talking to?
Okay.
I'm telling you, as somebody who knows, I perform in front of people. I talk to people every single night. If I see someone in the front of the audience is just looking at their phone, I check them on that shit immediately. Yeah. It's this is not television, yo. You know what I mean? I'm not tap dancing here. You need to engage with me. So I think for your points, I think if you're being generous with your listening to Joe, Joe should be more generous with his listening to you and not an immediate dismissal. Though it's funny and entertaining, but him just being like, fuck out of here. No, you know what I mean? It creates...
By the way...
That's 100... You see, that's why when niggas be saying hate, I can't chalk up shit as hate when niggas is giving advice I agree with. If they're hating, if that is what hate sounds like, hey, I must be hating too because I feel some of the same ways. I'd be like, yo, these are points y'all are saying that I agree with. And truth be told, not only do I agree with it, I often wondered if I was in the minority in believing that. Right? Am I tripping? Is this how it's supposed to be? Or am I tripping? Again, I'm in a whole new type of industry, or now it's so much more controls than just me being able to do whatever the fuck I want to do. So when you hear other people who are giving you advice, and some of them they have had experience, I don't see how you can see this hate. I didn't see this hate. I can't even lie. Didn't see this hate.
He's only doing that for his boys, I'm telling you.
Really?
He's only doing that for his boys that don't fuck with you. I'm telling you.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
He's only doing that for his team that don't fuck with Akademiks.
I think it's for a fan base or audience that he represents who don't fuck with people of my ilk. You feel me? Yo, you the new niggas pushing the Yachties, the Uzis, this new shit we don't fuck with. Yeah. We fuck with, we're more in the school of thinking like Joe. So when we come, and that's why I think the show is kind of great, you know what I mean? But I think we got to find that medium, and a respectable medium, right? Like, we've been working on it. Compared from week one, I thought week one was horrible. I said it, told them, I told everybody, right? But I think as we've gone on, we're getting better. And again, it is unfair to say, are we in our final form in the first month?
It's new. It's a month.
Just started, bro.
But what I am encouraged by,
embryo.
every day we go in, we're building and we're fine tuning shit. Like, yo, listen, when we do this is what's supposed to happen. Hey, yo, listen, let me get this out, and we're kind of figuring out a medium how we could get to a really dope show.
Just don't lose yourself in the process, man.
I 100% agree with that.
I want to end with just real quick. Last week, I got a text from somebody, and the text was like, Bill Cosby wants your number. I'm like, Bill Cosby? So,
About to pull up like Birdman on you?
so listen.
Hold on. Who texted you?
Cosby text?
I don't want to say who texted me, but somebody texted me like, Bill Cosby wants your number. I'm like, all right. But it wasn't Bill Cosby. It was actually his publicist. And his publicist was like, hey, his daughters want to release a statement. They listen to The Breakfast Club a lot, and they want to release a statement exclusively on The Breakfast Club because, Bill's going to trial next month. So I'm like, all right, cool. So they send me over the audio. I play the clips yesterday on The Breakfast Club. They got a lot of attention, and like these mainstream media outlets straight up was hitting his publicist like, how dare you?
Really?
Yeah. Like, it was almost...
How dare you, in what sense?
How dare they send us exclusive motherfucking clips?
Like you're not big enough, like your platform.
How? And then their exact words was, we're fucking pissed that you would send Charlamagne and The Breakfast Club exclusive audio. And I'm like, now, all of these outlets have, like, nailed Cosby to the cross. Like, he's guilty. Like, I've always said, I'm not trying to discredit the accusers. Yeah. I'm not trying to discredit the accused. Yeah. I'm just saying.
You say he should die, though. You say he should.
But I wasn't saying he should die because of the accusations. I was saying he should die because he's already been crucified.
Exactly.
Like, so why go through this? Yeah.
Why? You said that was the only out he had. Bitch.
That's it. Why? Listen, in the court of public opinion, Bill Cosby's guilty.
That sounds foul, though. Like, yo, your only option is to die.
Yeah, but you already
80.
lived your life.
Yes.
Think about how many people raped 50 girls and got away with it for most of their life.
Well, see, you nailing to the cross. Like, who knows? And even though I don't even want to seem like I'm sticking up for him, I just want to be objective until we get a guilty verdict. Because what happens now, the accusation is more important than even the conviction.
That's all I'm saying. I think it's very dangerous when we live in a society where the court of public opinion can cause your livelihood to be ruined. Now, if you want to put all his shit on pause, fine. Pause everything. Okay. We're going to pump the brakes on this until you get all of this shit squared away in court, Bill. Yeah. And if you get everything squared away in court and it's a not guilty verdict or whatever, then we'll get everything back on track. Or even think about getting everything back on track. Right. But you just can't lose everything because of court of public opinion. Right. Because it reminds me of Nate Parker. Nate Parker already got found not guilty in a court of law 17 years ago, but you get put on the court of public opinion at the biggest moment of your life? Yep. Like, that's just not fair.
Right. So when you see those outlets, like, they have that reaction to it, do you kind of look at them like, wait, is that toward us, or y'all believe y'all were entitled to that by him?
It's a little bit of both. I look at it the same way I look at like people saying Joe Budden's competition. I love it. Let's go. Yeah, motherfucker, we out here. Okay? Associated Press, you know what I mean? Whoever, TMZ, whoever it is. Yes, we out here too. Huffington Post, we out here. And guess what y'all gonna do? You're gonna use our content to put on your website just like we would if y'all reported a story. Right. All right? Yeah, the dynamics of things are shifting a little bit. Everybody's going these non-traditional routes. You know what I mean? If I was the Cosby daughters and I actually listened to the Breakfast Club, and this is a show that I've listened to and I've heard, and even though they might even be harsh on our father at time, it's still pretty fair and balanced. Why wouldn't I give them that?
Or what about they just want to attach themselves to your fan base because they think your fan base will be the most forgiving of their father?
Maybe.
That's interesting.
That's interesting too.
I would be concerned that they would be trying to manipulate you guys, because they might look at black people as the most forgiving of a popular black man who has been accused of something a la O.J. Simpson.
It'll never happen for Bill. And I'm going to tell you why.
No, I understand.
Because of the whole pull your pants up comments and the respectability politics Bill did. Bill will never be able to get that kind of...
But people said O.J. did similar things. people
OJ
said
was
OJ
interesting
turned
because
his back toward black people, and then when
I don't
he
think OJ was
needed-
ever black though. I don't think OJ got black until after he killed the woman. I'm serious. If you watch the documentary, OJ was always like that.
That's what I'm saying.
That white black
OJ
guy.
was like Logic before Logic.
Yeah, he was. I'm serious. Like, he didn't get really black until after the not guilty verdict.
Well, that's the thing. I think he got black when he went towards a group of people that were willing to support him. So my concern for you would be that these daughters and the PR team that's really behind these daughters are using your demographic and using your outlet to find people that are going to be compassionate to Bill's cause.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know why they would do that now, though.
That being said, you're not using, but you're kind of using them using their statement for tons of press and to legitimize you, etc. No, I'm saying it's good. I'm saying it's good. I'm like, it's like everybody's using everybody in this
Absolutely.
situation.
Listen,
Yeah,
if you can't be used, you're useless.
Exactly.
You just don't let people misuse you.
I would never give that statement to CNN or MSNBC or something like that because you know what Rachel Maddow was going to say? Rachel Maddow ain't going to go out there and say, listen, let's make sure that everybody's innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
No, she's going to put that statement out with some context like this motherfucker raped 54 girls. We shouldn't even be asking for apologies.
By the way, that's what you're saying is absolutely
Chopped
right.
and screw that joint, right?
And somebody said to me, why would you give Bill Cosby and his daughters a platform? And I'm like, this is the problem with America right now. This guy's going on trial next month.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The accusers get a voice.
Yeah.
So shouldn't the accused be able to get a voice too?
Not to mention, you play songs on the radio that talk about killing people and put a Molly in a drink.
By the way,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't want to. Man, I told a girl that
assault.
shit yesterday. I
What'd
don't
she
want to
say?
hear shit about Bill Cosby when I saw you in the club while in the Molly Percocet. All right, Molly. Whether you took the Molly on purpose or somebody flipped it to you, it's gonna be the same goddamn result. And a nigga gonna put his dick in you if you pass the fuck out. So you need to stop this shit. I hate this shit, man. Like this Molly Percocet is the same shit. You're just fucking taking it consciously.
So you say Future made a date rape anthem?
Yes.
Oh shit!
All these motherfuckers.
I never thought about it.
Rick Ross said champagne all in a drink.
No,
You don't
that was
even know it.
deliberate though. That sounded like that was a personal tale. Okay, that sounded like a personal tale. Even when Rich Homie Quan said it, he said
Rich
Rich Homie Quan, he was flagrant.
Rich
with it.
Homie Quan jumped out the window.
What he say?
I mean,
He
Rick
ain't gonna
Ross
say
jumped
shit.
out the window too, but Rich Homie Quan said a lot of bad bitches in here. I'm gonna rape one. Now,
I'm sorry, what he say?
All right, hold on. But that's just being more blunt than just saying Molly in her champagne. She ain't even know it. I mean,
Yeah,
she
don't
ain't
be
know it.
blunt. Wait, hold on.
Okay, so we
Hold
got
on,
it,
bro.
Oh, come on.
Hold on, you don't think there's a difference between being like,
It's
hey,
the same
it's not
thing.
bad
It's the
bitch
same
here.
thing.
I'm
Same
a rape
thing,
one.
same thing.
It
It's
ain't
the
the
same
same thing, bro.
thing.
The only reason you respect one more because he's being like really direct with it.
Yeah.
I don't respect that more.
Hold on,
I respect the guy that's
Nah,
champagne
nah.
in a drink because
Nah.
think about it.
Yo,
Why the
Shows-
fuck you giving girls alcohol in the first place?
So
that you can
are
fuck
the
them.
guy that says, yo, well, Rich Homie Quan, you ain't even bother to rhyme the goddamn
Yeah, he ain't even
line.
bother to rhyme.
Like,
Matter of fact-
Dan Ross, it sounded like a lit bar.
I'm gonna be
it's
honest
just
with you.
wrong. In
I've heard, I don't know if because I'm getting older, but I've heard some really crazy things in music. That's the top number one craziest shit I ever heard somebody say. And not getting no shit for it.
You know how much
Rich Homie
confidence,
Quan.
bro?
Man, where's Rich Homie Quan now?
That's
Yeah,
because
but
he
that's 'cause
fucked up the
sucked.
Biggie lyrics.
No, it's not because he sucked.
He fucked up the Biggie lyrics
He
at the
came
Biggie
back
reunion.
with a Biggie
You know what? You
lyrics.
might be right. That might be karma, yo. You can't, whether or not you get crucified or not, you say some shit like that, that's fucking.
Can I just say one thing
Yo,
about
certain
Ross in
things
defense
live.
with Ross? Okay, I'm not saying you should put anything in a girl's drink. That being said, why are we giving girls drinks? We give girls drinks because we know that it's going to put them in a state where they're more willing to make decisions they wouldn't be willing to make if they were sober.
Whoa.
So
No.
all you doing is
Andrew
saving.
O'Reilly.
Yeah, whoa,
All you doing is saving money on the drinks by putting a little Molly in that
Andrew,
shit.
no, wait.
Andrew O'Reilly.
Hey, it's Asalama Andy, my brother.
No, don't
It's
blame this on
Asalama
Islam.
Andy,
Don't
okay?
blame this on Islam.
I will. Joe Budden, Allah Akbar, this conversation.
Andrew
motherfucking
L.A.
second.
Reid. No, but if we
LA,
think about it, though,
LA shows.
the whole problem with it is that, like, if she thinks she's only getting alcohol, she should only get alcohol, not alcohol in a Molly or whatever.
Bruh, I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I know it's 100%
I'm trying to clean
wrong.
up for you.
I don't give a fuck what you give a girl. If you give her alcohol and she gets drunk and she passes out, you better call her friends and tell her come get her. Don't even think about touching her. Okay?
You gotta tell these hoes BYOB, yo. Bring your own shit. You know what I mean? I ain't giving you nothing.
I don't care if they bring their own stuff. If they bring their own stuff and get drunk off their own liquor and get drunk off their own Molly, if that girl does not give you permission to have sex with
you're
her,
right.
you better leave her the
You're
fuck
right.
alone.
Yeah,
Now, I'm sorry, that's
You're
right.
Nah, that's
Wait,
true.
what?
Now, at a certain point of inebriation, like, I mean, after like 2 cups, you got to think really carefully, even if she's like, come do something. Like, you got to think that she's now impaired.
Nah, bro.
I'm not doing it. Stay
Nah.
away from intoxicated pussy.
You always said it's not rape if they're Dominican.
I've never said anything like that.
You never said
She has
that?
one glass of wine.
Oh,
She has one glass of wine.
I've never said anything like that.
Pre-marriage and all that shit. She had one glass of wine. And she says, yo, she want to get down. Are you saying, nah, I'm good?
I'm hitting it.
Who
One
knows
glass-
her state?
She's telling me, she's giving me consent. She's telling me she wants to
All right,
fuck.
she had 4 or 5 glasses of wine.
Yeah, I'm going to hit it.
8, 9 glasses of wine.
I don't know.
She still saying
She might have good tolerance.
No, she's
She might have good tolerance.
I don't know.
Wait, how many glasses of wine have I had? Am I completely sober?
Nah, that don't matter. Like,
Hey, you see this conversation we're having? You see, Andrew is a comedian. So, like, he's borderline saying almost found shit. But that's how comedians do. They'll say some kind of foul shit and with humor in it, and then back it up by loose points. Because I ain't gonna lie, I thought I'm like, nigga, you were slipping to fall. I don't know what he was going on with right here. I was like, let me just clear my shit on this.
She's acting too. I'm gonna be honest with you.
No, if she's slurred
It's a
her
judgment
speech
call,
and
right?
shit like
Judgment
that,
call,
it's a
word
judgment
up.
call.
Because if she's wilding, like you could tell when somebody's really drunk and not in their own mind. Like I don't know, bro. I tell her, I've been saying it for years. Stay away from drunk pussy. Stay away from high pussy.
Hey, have either y'all ever turned down pussy just off the fact
No,
that?
but I'll
Absolutely.
get head. Wait, what?
Like you feel like, yo, I think she's a little bit too drunk to really
Absolutely.
consent. I'm out of here.
Definitely.
Absolutely. I've turned down crazy chicks when they not intoxicated.
Yeah.
Like now she's a little off. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't like this conversation no more.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit rapey. We're getting a little bit
We
uncomfortable.
try to stay away from rapey shit because rape is fucked up. And rape culture is something that we all do need to discuss because a lot of motherfuckers out here really don't know what rape culture is.
That's true. We're
Because if Rich
influenced by
Homie
the
Quan is
music.
doing records where he's saying a lot of bad bitches I can rape one.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. What label is he on?
Well, he just signed
Raping
now
You
to,
Records.
Now, he just signed to,
not just signed.
Motown.
What label was he on?
No, he was on some independent stuff. Like he got fucked
He
up.
was signed to LA
Think it's a game entertainment, but they took all his money from his songs.
I don't know what the fuck it was, but whatever label that was, whoever the producers of that song with, they need to speak the fuck up.
You're right.
Because if you got a line in your song
I agree.
that says, hey, because you're attached to that song.
Hey, you are right about that. And
I agree.
even though we shouldn't have said it, the way that song was released, it was like one of those, like, there was 100 songs leaked by him. And that was the song that stood out. I was like, wait, this motherfucker said he's a rape a chick? But he didn't put it out. So it's not like somebody hit the button like, send it out. It got
Nigga, you
leaked.
supposed to delete that shit. You like, you supposed to, hey, if you don't come in here and write some new shit,
Listen,
all right.
I don't know how records work, but you know that shit where you get to push the button and speak to the guy in the booth?
Yes.
The
What'd you say,
second
motherfucker?
after he said the line, rape her, I bet,
Whoa,
hold
whoa,
up,
whoa,
you want
whoa.
to take that again,
Did
dog?
you say tape her? Or what the fuck are you
Yeah,
talking about?
whoa. It's other words that can rhyme with tape on. All right? Okay, or tape son. All right? Academics, tell them where to find you, brother.
Hey, listen, you guys could find me every day on Everyday Struggle, Monday to Thursday. I'm on YouTube as well. I'm on social media. I do live streams. Just connect with me on social media. You'll find everything else. I tweet everything out, Instagram stuff.
I think we might name this the Joe Budden Podcast.
Joe Budden Podcast.
or we'll name this podcast later.
I would name this podcast. Boom, I like that.
Y'all keep jabbing that nigga, man.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We're gonna name this one. The name of this podcast is I'll name this podcast later, Joe. All right? With a comma. Okay?
You know he gonna kill y'all on his podcast.
Oh, I love it.
This is like podcast beef.
Oh,
I
that's
love
beautiful.
it. All right, do the people who listen to either podcast, do they be like, all right, well, I'm rocking with him, fuck the other guy? Or is it like, shit, ooh, what did he say? Like, do they kind of go back and forth like a
I don't even know if
schoolyard
they
fight
really
type
give
of
a fuck.
thing? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't.
It is
So
what
it's not
it
like hip hop beef. You know, hip hop beef, like the fans ride with you, like fuck that nigga.
No, it's different when you own property. Like you just don't care about like murder as much. You know what I mean? Like when you.
I honestly just wanted Academics here so y'all could hear him talk.
Yeah, he believes in you.
I wanted y'all to know that he can have conversations with people and actually speak.
Yo, real talk. We had a great hip hop discussion that
Yes.
lasted the entire podcast, and we got to credit you for that, man. For real.
It wasn't no yelling. It wasn't no screaming.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy.
Well,
Don't
y'all
tell
might have
Joe
a different
Budden.
demeanor
Did you just
in
say
terms-
ooh?
No, I said
That
y'all
was
might
the
have.
most Haitian thing I ever
No,
heard
no,
in
no,
my
no. I ain't Haitian.
Ooh.
I'm Jamaican. Jamaican Haitians, they got like some beef. Anyway, you guys have different personalities though. Like not, certain friends. Like you can't have like you could be arguing about who's MVP this year, Russell Westbrook or is it James Harden, and it's not going to be okay, just a good conversation. It's going to be like, yo, fuck you,
Yep.
yo,
Absolutely.
mad for 2 days. Some people are passionate. You get me?
Yeah.
So I can't blame people for being passionate because hip hop is something where you're passionate about. Even
You
with
could be
sports, you're
passionate
about
and
sports.
communicate. Martin Luther King was passionate.
That's
Yes.
true. That's true. I absolutely agree with that. And I think for the audience wants passionate and great communication. So that's that balance we're trying to find. And
I'll be honest, I just want Joe to keep doing exactly what Joe's doing. I find that shit so entertaining.
well, here's the thing.
It's
too,
like a face tattoo.
You got to check your
You
bitterness.
can't look away.
People
Joe's a
like
little
you.
bitter.
People
Say
like
what?
you.
Joe's a little bitter though.
I'm so entertained by it.
Nah, absolutely.
He's a little bitter.
It's definitely better, but
bitter.
there's something entertaining about it.
Nah, but people like you though, right? Like
Yeah.
you want those moments. So even if say you have just moments of good dialogue, they'd be like, he's not shouting at this fuck nigga academics, man. The shit. So also people encourage it too. Like
Yeah.
like, yo, well, why are we so quiet this episode? So
Interesting.
also people want that a little bit.
Don't listen to what they want.
No, it's
Give
not
them
me.
what
No,
you
I'm
wanna
always
give them.
me. I'm always
Yeah,
me.
good.
I'm always
Let's
me. Like
end with
I've
this.
never
I
changed.
want you to tell Joe, if you could tell Joe Budden something right now, because it's the only time he'll ever
hear
listen.
this.
Therapy.
No, seriously, this is the only time he'll ever
Yo,
listen
he
to
listens though. That's the crazy. Yo,
Not
on camera.
Not in camera.
Yeah.
So if you could tell him something right now, what would you tell him?
hey, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll work in the morning.
Honestly,
Fuck, nigga. Oh, shit. Actor shot. No.
Listen, honestly, what would you tell him? Is the reason why you've been gaining weight so that your body is more diminished?
Scratchy been scratchy. Ever since everyday struggle, he gained 20 pounds.
Hey, I wouldn't mind that narrative though. Yeah, stress.
Stressy.
It's stress.
No. Okay, so nothing that you want to tell him.
Nah, yo, truthfully speaking of what I'm saying, me and we have great conversations off camera. I think a lot of stuff that we saw with the show week 1, week 2, we're adjusting. And he knows we're not at the perfect medium, but we're working on it.
So Joe's fronting for the camera, basically.
I mean, in some sense, I don't know.
He's fronting for the camera.
Listen, I'm always me. I expect him to be always him.
Joe,
But
Akademiks saying you're fronting for the camera.
Nah, I can't tell somebody's personality like that.
Yeah.
You get me? Like,
You're saying his personality is different off camera than on.
we have great conversations off camera.
Okay?
Great
He
conversations.
doesn't yell at you and scream at you?
No, I mean,
He
at times,
wants you to be
no.
happy off camera.
Nah, a couple days ago we got into it, like, but it's about passionate shit, and those I get it, right? Because we have like different opinions. Some of the stuff is not just hip hop, right? But
You need to throw your own pool party.
I need to throw my own pool party.
Same date.
You know?
The Akademiks pool party. Same.
Hey, who y'all come to the pool party, yo? It gonna be a goddamn just motherfucking inflatable tub in my basement. Who want it? Let me know if y'all want it. And all chat niggas, all subs are invited. If you a subscriber, you in there by default. Imagine that though. A chat nigga pool party. All the subs are there. We'll get like 50 non-subs. Y'all be on a raffle or something. And then we had every chick we ever brought on stream there. Like, you could literally, instead of like calling them and talk, you just walk over her and just ask her, like, yo, what's up? Wouldn't that
Are
be
y'all
lit?
coming to the pool party?
A bunch of
Did
niggas
you
with
invite them?
laptops. not trying not to get their laptops and phones wet.
Now you need to throw an Uber pool party.
Hey,
that's
did
what it's
y'all
got
get
to be.
invited? Because I ain't gonna lie, I
Get
need
invited to what?
to the pool party.
I thought it's public.
I'm not going to no goddamn Joe Budden.
Not public.
Oh.
It's invite only, I think.
Well,
Well, why is he promoting it like it's public?
Well, it's for like all the. I think it's like all the Insta thoughts and all that shit. They gonna be there and all the industry.
I'm not going to any
Well,
pool party, no.
we'll name
You're single, right?
Yeah, I'm single,
Come
but
to
that
Insta
wouldn't-
thought, bro.
Yeah, but I don't have to go to a pool party to do that.
we'll name this podcast later.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what we're naming this one this week. As always, if you listen to this podcast, you think we're smart, you think we're intelligent, you think we're brilliant, you're absolutely right. If you listen to this podcast and you think we're just a couple of idiots who don't know shit, you're right too, because it's the Brilliant Idiots Podcast. Thank you for listening.
Peace.
Hey, yo, we should do the pool party, yo. I'm telling y'all. I just thought of it right now. I would send Selena a Greyhound ticket. She could just take a bus out here. Destiny, you know what I mean? I'll send her a motherfucking a 3-hump camel. You know what I mean? She could just ride her way on to New York. I'll be lit, though. Do y'all like the podcast? Did you like my appearance on there? Are you satisfied with it? What did you not like? What did you like? Should I start formatting my streams? Not in changing like stuff we do, but like one day a week it would be. Like I would pick a day of the week and I would do so for an hour and a half, right? Which I would be ignoring chat because it would be it's for, of course, chat niggas y'all are watching it live, but it's for stuff to carry out into the world and for the podcast audience. I don't know if I should do a podcast. I've thought about it. Y'all tell me. Honestly, most of the stuff that y'all kind of either request a lot from me, I do. If y'all don't request it or y'all hate it, I don't do it. That's just always how it's been. Including reviews, and that's why reviews. Hey, I'm doing reviews this weekend. Fuck all that shit. Fuck all that shit. Nah, I wouldn't do it alone. You know what I mean? I would find a couple of people who are interested with me to do it. And see, that's another conversation. I could do it with actual friends. I don't know how committed they would be, just because they've never been committed to shit. You get me? They've never been committed to anything. I remember back in the day, this wouldn't even be committed to fucking the vision I had till I had to leave them behind to get to where I'm at. So I don't know if they would be committed even now. I could do it, I guess, with people I know, like, through online. I guess we could do some Skype stuff. I'm not too sure. And also, we got to think, should there be guests? I'm not, you see, yo, I've been bitten so bad, like, by, like, my experience trying to come up. Like, I hate guests. Like, truth be told, if Dre wasn't here to get all these hoes, and that's why, like, somebody be like, oh, people use your name. Y'all can use the name. Y'all can be like, oh, I'm Akademiks, whatever. Like, but I don't have time to be scheduling with bitches or scheduling with people, period. I went through that phase in my life when they were curving the shit out of me. I ain't got time for that again. I don't think I ever will. So I wouldn't mind having guests, but I would have to have someone book the guest. It couldn't be me. I can't stand people like that. I just can't.